Very good morning, all. Okay, what we saw in our yesterday class, see, we are discussing about numerical methods, right? So, numerical part 1 is completed. Part 1 in the sense, we saw the solution for transcendental and algebraic equations, right? So, we are standardly following 4 methods, right? So, with the help of bisection, regular policy, secant method, and Newton-Raphson method, we are trying to bring out the solution for algebraic and transcendental equations, right? Fine. Now, our next target, that is phase 2. Now, let us take integrations. Let us see how to bring the solutions for integral functions. Like, in order to find the solution for critical functions, see, if I have some normal functions like 1 by x, sin x, cos x, tan x, secant x, cot x, cosecant x, right? And if I have x square plus x, like that, some general polynomial equations or some general functions, right, can be directly solved. We don't need to be panic, and that is with the help of analytical method we can find out the solution. But the problem is, when I am looking for critical functions, some functions cannot be integrated directly. We know, right? So some functions cannot be integrated directly. Those functions will going to be solved with the help of numerical methods. But what is the drawback of the numerical method? The drawback is error, right? We are not trying to, that is, we are not getting the exact value, right? We are getting what? Only approximate value. But the happiest thing is the value, approximate value that we are getting is getting close to the exact value. It is not far away from the exact value. It is close to exact value, but it is not equal to exact value. It has some error with this, right, within it. Fine. Now, what we are going to do? Let us say let us take the integrations methods, right? Let's bring the solution. Now there are already I had been told you we are going to standardly follow 2 methods, right? So first we are going up with the trapezoidal rule, and then we are going to follow Simpson rule, right? Fine. Now what I am going to do in these 3 rules, right? So let us see. Now while going up with the trapezoidal rule and Simpson rule, that's a Simpson 1/3 rule, Simpson 3/8 rule at all. Actually, what we are trying to do is just you have to understand, right? I am just giving small introduction, right, theoretically, and I am not going to give in-depth explanation. Just understand, that's enough, right? Now, in order to do, right, first of all, we are looking for the solution of integrations, right? That is solution for definite integrals, right? Definite integral, but we are going to see numerical method. We can bring these solutions for both normal and critical functions. All type of functions can be perfectly analyzed with the help of numerical methods, right? So we are looking for the solution of definite integral, right? So we can call it as, right? So that is going to be definite integral. Now, we all know integral in the sense we should consider area, right? Integral in the sense we have to consider area. Area in the sense, for an example, randomly let us select some area, right? I'm just let me select some area like this, right? Randomly. Now this area starting at this point, right? I have certain function. That function is non-linear. That is not shown to us, but that function corresponds. See, this is f of x. F of x means your function, right? And this is x. Now just I have certain random function and is going from this point to this point. Now I would like to estimate the area of this function. Guys, listen, if you have a triangular, right, or if you have a rectangular, if you have a triangular function, or if you have a rectangular function, or if you have a square function, or if you have a triangular function, sorry, a sinusoidal waveform, right? This is triangular, and suppose if you have a sinusoidal function, see, these waveforms are looking like what? They are linear functions. We can easily find out the area by using normal analytical method, because see there, its wave shape is perfect at all points, right? But when I am looking for this sort of function, can you find the solution for this function directly? Even I too don't know what type of function it is, right? You see, it is not lies under our normal function. Normal function in the sense sinusoidal signal, cosine functions, trigonometric functions, these triangular functions, square wave, sawtooth, right? So we have seen many functions in signals and system. They are all called normal functions. With the help of normal analytical method, we can bring the solution for them. But the problem is, when I am looking for this type of nonlinear equations or nonlinear functions, we are unable to predict the exact area. How can I catch the exact area? See, if it is the triangular, we have the direct formula. or we know how to you can find out the slope of this function and you can find the slope of this function such that you will be able to find the total area from this point to this point directly just by putting the integration. If I am having square wave, it has constant, right? So this triangular, right, it is a constant, right, from this point to this point easily, right? So constant means it has some specific value. Just in the limit you can go from a to b or certain limits with the height, directly you will get the answer. Similarly for square, similarly for sinusoidal, right? So general functions can be directly estimated, but can you go like this? I'm just estimating, I'm selecting a point a and I'm selecting a point b, right? Can you directly calculate the value of area of this function like this? No. The problem is, see, for triangular we are finding the, what I can say, slope, right? Sinusoidal is a smooth curve. Just if you do integration for each and every point, it will give you the solution directly. That is the beauty of sinusoidal, right? So like that, these sort of solutions cannot be estimated here. See, I'm just going here to here, it is properly, that is it is in progress, right? So it is increasing, suddenly it is decreasing, right? I don't know what to do with this, and I too don't know what type of curve it is, and we cannot do integration directly. So we are going to use some type of what I can say trickies in order to find out the area of this function. Anyway, the first rule is called trapezoidal rule, right? So here under integration we are going to use two type of rule. One is Simpson rule, another one is trapezoidal rule, in order to find out the solution for critical functions. In order to find the solution for critical functions, right? So let us estimate the solution for critical function. Let me rub this one, right? Now how do I do this one? Let us take a trapezoidal rule. Let us consider trapezoidal rule, right? So let us consider trapezoidal rule, right? Now what he done, according to trapezoidal, what he said, our first என்ன பண்ணிட்டாரு அப்படின்னா, he took this one இந்த இன்டர்வல் எடுத்துக்கிட்டாரு. ஜஸ்ட் செலக்ட் திஸ் பாயிண்ட். அவர் கேட்டு வாங்கிக்கிட்டாரு, உங்களுக்கு எதுல இருந்து எது வரைக்கும் ஏரியா வேணும் அதை மட்டும் என்கிட்ட நீங்க கொடுத்துருங்க, ரைட்? ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் அதை வாங்கிக்கிட்டாரு. இந்த கர்வ் வாங்கிக்கிட்டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து நார்மலா ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் டிஃபைன் பண்றாரு. யூஸ்வலா நம்ம எப்படி ஏரியா கால்குலேட் பண்ணுவோம்? ஜஸ்ட் பை யூசிங் இன்டெகிரேஷன், ரைட்? ஸோ இன்டெகிரேஷன் இஸ் அல்டிமேட், ரைட்? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் தி பர்சன் ஹூ இஸ் கோயிங் டு ஹெல்ப் அஸ் டு ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் தி ஏரியா ஆஃப் எனி டைப் ஆஃப் கர்வ், ரைட்? ஸோ யுவர் டார்கெட் இஸ், நீங்க என்ன கேட்குறீங்க? a to b you have a certain function f of x with respect to dx, கரெக்டா? just your target is you need solution for this function. இந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு உங்களுக்கு சொல்யூஷன் வேணும், அவ்வளவுதானே? எஸ். ஸோ லெட் மீ டூ இட். அவர் என்ன பண்ணிட்டாருன்னா இதை எடுத்துக்கிட்டு see டைரக்டா இந்த டோட்டல் ஃபங்க்ஷனை கன்சிடர் பண்ண முடியாது அப்படிங்கிறது எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும், ரைட்? ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் trapezoidal அப்படின்னா we are going to create, right? ஸோ trapezoidalனா just he is creating see there, இவர் என்ன பண்ணாருன்னா ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் பாயிண்ட், ரைட்? இந்த இன்டர்வல் வந்து டைரக்டா 2 இன்டர்வல்ஸா எடுத்துக்காம, ரைட், ஒரு ஸ்டெப் சைஸை கிரியேட் பண்ணாரு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஏ எடுத்துக்கிட்டாரு. இன்ஸ்டெட் ஆஃப் கால்குலேட்டிங் டோட்டல் ஏரியா டைரக்ட்லி, ரைட்? ஸோ மொத்த ஏரியாவையும் ஒரே டைம்ல கால்குலேட் பண்றதுக்கு பதிலாக இன்டர்வல்ஸ் பிரேக் பண்ணிக்கிட்டாரு. அவர் எப்படி பிரேக் பண்ணாருன்னா ஒரு ப்ராப்பரான ஸ்டெப் சைஸ் எடுத்துக்கிட்டாரு. ஃபார் அன் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஸ்டெப் சைஸ் அப்படின்னா நம்ம ஸ்டேர் கேஸ்லாம் வீட்டில் வந்து ஸ்டெப்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும்? அன்ஈவனா இருக்குமா இல்லை ஈவனா இருக்குமா? லைக் இப்போ நம்ம மாடிக்கு போறோம் அப்படின்னா யூஸ்வலாக எப்படி இருக்கும்? ஸ்டெப் சைஸ் வந்து ஈவனா இருக்கும், ரைட்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் எப்படி இருக்கோ அதே ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்ல தான் செகண்ட் ஸ்டெப்போட சைஸ் இருக்கும், தேர்ட் ஸ்டெப்போட சைஸ். இஸ் தேர் எனி சேஞ்சஸ்? தட் இஸ் கால்ட் ஸ்டெப் சைஸ், ரைட்? ஸோ அப்போ நான் என்ன பண்ணுறேன்னா, இன் ஆர்டர் டு நம்ம மாடி இஸ் அவர் டெஸ்டினேஷன், நம்ம கீழே இருந்து மேலே போகணும், ரைட்? மாடிக்கு போகணும். ஸோ இன் பிட்வீன் வை வி ஆர் கிரியேட்டிங் தி ஸ்டெப்ஸ்? பிகாஸ் டைரக்ட்லி வி cannot touch that point, right? You cannot jump, we are not monkey or we are not god and we don't have any supreme power to jump, right, to reach that point directly, right? So in order to now இப்போ staircase ல வந்து if you want to travel then step by step with the equal proper நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? just for looking, right, நல்லா அழகா இருக்கணும்ன்றதால நம்ம ஈக்குவலான ஒரு ஸ்டெப் சைஸ்ல வந்து அதை கிரியேட் பண்ணுவோம், ரைட்? so as per the construction procedure ல so அப்ப நம்ம அந்த மாதிரி கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டு then we can just follow the step size in order to reach the destination. Do you all agree with me? Same thing I am going to do. So this is நம்ம வீட்ல இருக்குன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க, ground floorல இருக்கீங்க, you have to reach first floor. In between the ground floor and the first floor we are going to create this step, right? அப்ப ஸ்டெப் எப்படி இருக்கணும்? ஒரே சைஸ்ல இருக்கணும். The step size that you are creating, it has to be what? Same sizeல இருக்கணும், right? அப்ப நான் என்ன பண்றேன்னா step size is usually being, let me call it as h. Just we are denoting like that, right? So we are following h standardly, just I am using that symbol, don't think too much. So step size வந்து a, that is h அப்படிங்கிற சைஸ் வந்து நான் கிரியேட் பண்றேன், right? A certain width. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆகும்? Second point is going to be a plus h. Do you all agree with me? Yes, right? So for an example, if first point on the a irukku, see up to this point your distance is a. Now this point is h. அப்ப இந்த point என்ன வரும்? Total distance is a plus h. That is the second point, right? Next let me create the one more point. இப்போ நான் அவர் என்ன பண்ணிட்டாருன்னா இந்த பாயிண்ட் கிரியேட் பண்ணி அங்க இருந்து ஒரு லைன் வரையறாரு ஸ்ட்ரைட்டா மேல. வரைஞ்சிட்டு he is just creating a trapezoidal curve. in between these 2 points, right? Approximate trapezoidal. எடுத்துக்கிட்டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா டோட்டல் ஏரியா கால்குலேட் பண்ணதுக்கு பதிலா இவர் செலக்ட் பண்ண இந்த ஏரியாவுக்கு மட்டும் ஏரியா வந்து கால்குலேட் பண்ண சொல்றாரு. ஏல இருந்து a plus h வரைக்கும் உங்க ஃபங்க்ஷனோட ஏரியாவை கால்குலேட் பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொல்றாரு. திரும்பவும் இந்த ப்ரொசீஜரை ரிப்பீட் பண்ண சொல்றாரு. திரும்பவும் என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா இப்போ a plus hல இருந்து அதே ஸ்டெப் சைஸ், ரைட்? we are not going to change the step size. again I am selecting one more h, right? same distance. அப்போ இப்போ டோட்டல் டிஸ்டன்ஸ் எவ்வளோ வரும்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் a and then a plus h and then a plus 2h. இங்க ஒரு h இங்க ஒரு h. டோட்டலா இப்போ அடுத்த பாயிண்ட் என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா a plus 2h அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு. இப்போ திரும்ப என்ன பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா a plus hக்கும் a plus 2hக்கு நடுவில் ஒரு லைன் வரைஞ்சிக்கோங்க. ஜஸ்ட் கிரியேட் a trapezoidal, ரைட்? இப்போ இந்த ஏரியாவுக்கு மட்டும் நீங்கள் ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து கால்குலேட் பண்ணுங்கள், ரைட்? கிரியேட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் கால்குலேட் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா யூ கேன் கோ த்ரூ, தட் இஸ் யூ கேன் ட்ராவல் ஃப்ரம் a plus h to a plus 2h. பிகாஸ் ஆல்ரெடி நம்ம என்ன கால்குலேட் பண்ணியாச்சு? a to a plus hக்கு நம்ம ஏரியா எஸ்டிமேட் பண்ணியாச்சு. now we are just traveling from a plus h to a plus 2h with the same function. there is no changes. Again he is increasing the hydration, right? இப்போ a plus 2h இருந்து again take one more h, right? எடுத்துக்கிட்டு a plus 3h வரைக்கும் ட்ராவல் பண்ணுங்கன்ற, right? so again please travel from a plus 2h to a plus 3h. clear? with the function that is f of x into dx. அப்படியே கண்டினியூ பண்ணுறேன், ரைட்? ஸோ அப்போ நான் என்ன சொல்கிறேன்? a plus 3h எடுத்துட்டிங்களா? அடுத்து a plus 3h இருந்து see guys listen, just we have to create a trapezoidal points because the slope is not trapezoidal, we know, right? அங்கே என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா கவனிங்க, இந்த ஸ்லோப் இப்படி இருக்கா? நம்ம இப்போ ஒரு பாயிண்ட் சூஸ் பண்ணும்போது நீங்கள் trapezoidal இங்கே கிரியேட் பண்ணும்போது என்ன ஆகுனா you are leaving some portions, that is called error. We all know in numerical method total area cannot be estimated, right? so we are going up with some procedures, some rules, right? so that rules will going to give some results, but that is not accurate result. it is getting close to the answer, but it is not equal to the answer, right? fine. so like that, see there, if I am joining these 2 points, I am leaving some portion, right? if you notice these things carefully, this slope is going like this, but I am joining these 2 points directly, right? like that, if I will select one more point, இப்போ நீங்க இப்படி ஒரு ஸ்லோப் போயிட்டு இருக்குன்னா நீங்க இப்போ இந்த 2 பாயிண்ட்டை ஜாயின் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you may leave some portion. it happens, you cannot avoid this one, right? so you have to continue same step size. just repeat this procedure. so a plus h, a plus 2h, a plus 3h, a plus 4h, a plus 5h, a plus 3, that is it will continuous up to a plus nh final value, right? so it will be continuous up to, so that is இங்க நம்ம லாஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட் b ன்னு சொல்லிருக்கோம் இல்லையா? இதை இந்த ஆர்டர் படி பார்த்தோம்னா a plus h, a plus 2h அந்த ஆர்டர் படி பார்த்தோம்னா that is a plus n times of h, a plus n times of h, where n denotes number of intervals. கரெக்டா? என்னன்னா என்னங்க இங்க பாருங்க, a plus 2h னா மீனிங் என்ன? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இன்டர்வல் செகண்ட் இன்டர்வல்ல நம்ம a plus 2h எடுத்துருக்கோம், அது சப் இன்டர்வல்ஸ். அடுத்தது a plus 3h னா மொத்தமா 3 இன்டர்வல் எடுத்துருக்கீங்கன்னு அர்த்தம். a plus 4h னா totally you took 4 intervals. a plus 5h னா totally you took 5 intervals. so it denotes what? it denotes the number of intervals, right? so n denotes the number of intervals. sub intervals நீங்க எத்தனை செலக்ட் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களோ that is n. okay fine. so what is the conclusion here? the conclusion is we can extend this limit up to the final point. final point அப்படின்னா just we are going from a plus n minus 1h to a plus nh. இங்க a plus nh அப்படிங்கிறது it is equal to b, right? is it visible to you all? yeah, I think that is visible. good. so let's continue. see there, that is how we are finding the integration with the help of trapezoidal rule, right? guys, I'm not going to repeat this process for all people, just in order to let you all to understand the basic, I am demonstrating these things. okay, first once you understand, then that is enough, right? okay, so the thing is, if you want to do integration with the help of trapezoidal rule, right, each and every time, right, each and every integration we need of 2 initial points, right? so in trapezoidal rule, right, I need 2 initial points. first thing that you have to notice, right? so in trapezoidal rule, each and every integration is requiring us 2 points. see there, a plus h, a plus h to a plus 2h, like that each and every integration is requiring us 2 points. okay fine. okay, did you notice one more thing here? this is the final point that we are getting here, right? so let us take that final point outside. actually what I got, a is the starting point, n is the number of stub interval, h is the step size, and b is the final point, that is equal to final point. now if I will reduce this function from here, step size h will become equal to b minus a upon interval, number of sub intervals, right? Or if step size is not given, right? That is, if step size is given and if you don't know the number of subintervals, then you can use the same formula, that is b minus a upon step size. This is the formula to obtain the number of intervals or step size of the function. Clear, right? Either எந்த டேட்டா வந்து உங்களுக்கு தேவையோ அந்த டேட்டா நீங்க எஸ்டிமேட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். This is general formula, right? Just you can use it. Fine. Now what is the conclusion here? So the final conclusion that we are getting here, it is, right? So in case of trapezoidal rule, right? So let us reduce this function further, right? So we have to select two initial points, right? And we should select small area select panni, we are trying to estimate the total area such that we are getting the total area, total value, because obtaining the total area directly is not possible because we don't have a direct method and analytically this function cannot be solved. Fine, I hope things are clear to you all. Let us reduce this function and let me bring the final step for this equation. You all know in trapezoidal you might have read a single line formula, right? Let me bring that single line formula, then you no need to remember this all things, right? Because for your understanding I am demonstrating these things. Fine, let's see what happened. So the conclusion is I am just traveling from a to b with the integration of f of x into dx and it should be equal to, right? First case, guys listen, upper limit minus lower limit, இது அப்படியே substitute பண்ணீங்க அப்படினா what happens here? Actually after completing the integration, this f of x is going to be integrated with respect to dx and then integration பண்ணி முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? This function is going to be, இதுக்குள்ள யாரை substitute பண்ணுவீங்க? Upper limit minus lower limit, such that it can be written as upper limit is a plus h minus lower limit is going to be f of a. Yes, that is perfect, right? So similarly plus again take the second function. For second function எங்க இருந்து எங்க போகுது பாருங்க, a plus h to a plus 2h, correct? If you write the second function after completing the integration, right, its upper limit is going to be a plus h, exactly, right? So sorry, a plus 2h, yeah, its upper limit is going to be a plus 2h and its lower limit is going to be what? Its lower limit is going to be f of a plus h, right? So that is going to be, right, f of a plus h. Okay guys listen, here I am putting this minus as per the rule. நீ integration பண்ணும்போது you are considering a sign, right? But while doing the integration you are not, இந்த இடத்துல functions எழுதும்போது I am just hiding this sign. Why I am hiding this sign? Why? Because I too don't know what type of function it is. நீங்க integration complete பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் integrationக்குள்ள some minus வரலாம். Are you getting me? இப்போ ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்குள்ளே ஏதாச்சும் மைனஸ் இருக்கு, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் sin x இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. sin x நீங்க இன்டெகிரேட் பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் வேல்யூ சப்ஸ்டிட் பண்ணும்போது while going up with the lower limit your sign will change, right? So we cannot directly define these signatures, so I'm just removing that one. I'm hiding that function. It does not mean that I'm removing that value from the outside. That is I'm not removing that function, I'm just considering, but it is being hidden, right? Just you can continue this function up to the final value, right? So final வரைக்கும் இதை continue பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா at last you are going to get, right? So that is the last point is you are going to get f of a plus nb equal to y, or you can consider that is the final point, right? Let me consider f of b. That's enough, right? Now let us rearrange the order. Guys listen, this is f of a, right? f of a அப்படின்னா மீனிங் என்னங்க? That is nothing but f of x. x அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு பாயிண்ட், நம்ம xல ஒரு பாயிண்டை செலக்ட் பண்ணிருக்கோம், that is a. அதே மாதிரி x ஓட நெக்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட் a plus h. So this all are what? f of x only, but ஒவ்வொரு பாயிண்ட்ல ஒவ்வொரு வேல்யூ நம்ம எஸ்டிமேட் பண்ணிருக்கோம், right? So finally what is the conclusion here? The conclusion is this is the first point, so let me denote it by y naught. First point is y naught plus, see why I am putting y? Because y is equal to f of x, we all know. But why I am putting y naught? Because that is the initial point, right? Next, did you notice one thing? We have f of a plus and f of a plus 2, f of a plus h 2 times. Similarly, see there, f of a plus 2h, f of a plus 2h will be in 2 times. Again, this function will be 2 times. That is a plus 3h, no, adu 2 times repeat agum, right? So the conclusion is, let me put a common term that is called 2. In bracket, we are going to consider y1 will be repeated twice, y2 will be repeated twice, y3 will be repeated twice until the arrival of the last point. Last point is what? That is yn minus 1. yn minus 1. Last point க்கு முன்னாடி point actually, right? Last point ஒரே time தான் repeat ஆகும். That is y of b, right? That is y of n. Clear? So that is the general formula, and this is how we are estimating the integration, right? So from a to b, and our function is going to be what? f of x into dx. Clear? So that is the general formula to obtain the value of trapezoidal value, that is trapezoidal, sorry, to obtain the value of integration with the help of trapezoidal rule. Clear? And here in trapezoidal rule we are considering two initial points, so let me rub this one. In trapezoidal rule, we are considering two initial points, right? So don't forget, that is very important, right? Because you'll be tested for some worthless theoretical questions, right? Okay. And second thing is, in case of, right, we are just looking for trapezoidal rule, and the second we are going to discuss about Simpson rule, right? So in trapezoidal rule, right, so let me write here, right? If you are considering trapezoidal rule will give you exact result, right? That is accurate result. Almost it is equal to exact value, right? It will give you exact, or we can say accurate result for, right? Accurate result for degree 1 and order 2, right? So order with a step size that will be represented by h square. Order 2, right, with the step size, right? Order 2, it will give you the value of what? Accurate result, right? And it will produce error. It will produce error when the order of the system will rise above 2, right? When the order of the system will rise above 2, that is from third order onwards, right? So from third order equation onwards, in trapezoidal rule, right, error will become more. That's all. These are all observations, right? So just to note these things, right? That is the observations. Okay, fine. Now next, what we are going to do, let me rub this one, right? Let us take Simpson 1/3 rule and Simpson 3/8 rule, right? In the same way, let me rub this one. Guys, listen, the same way that I am proving now, I can demonstrate for those people also, but I hope you are getting these things now. I'm not going to explain those things also. I don't want to waste our time. Let's directly enter into the formula. Let me demonstrate those things, and quickly we have to get back to the problems, right? Just to create a small spark in your mind, I'm writing. I had given demonstration for this one. Even this too, just for understanding. That's enough, right? Let's take Simpson rule, right? Now, when we are looking for Simpson rule, right? I said Simpson rule means Simpson அப்படின்னு கொஸ்டின்ல மீன் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்களே, it means, right, எழுதிருந்தாங்கனாவே they are meaning, right? It means they are talking about Simpson 1/3 rule, right? So there are two rules here. One is a Simpson 1/3 rule, right? And another one is Simpson 3/8 rule, right? Already we had been discussed. Another one is Simpson. See, sometimes some people are not using this H. Don't think, okay, whichever the terms that they are giving, just to follow it, right? That is the author that they are following, right? So Simpson rule is going to be 3/8 rule, that is 3h/8, 8th rule, right? That's all. So now let us look at the Simpson 3/8 rule. I think many of you know the formula directly. Let me write. For Simpson, once again, same integration, right? You are going from a to b, there is no doubts. F of x into dx. But in Simpson 1/3 rule, right, we are selecting, initially we are selecting 3 points, right? In this same graph, let me select this same one, right? He is selecting initial point A, he is also selecting one more point B, and he is selecting a midpoint by taking the average. He is selecting one more midpoint. That is the Simpson 1/3 rule curve, right? So, and then he is trying to estimate. So this is the common in the sense the total function general in the mari define pannita, and then he is selecting small sub intervals. In each and every sub intervals, he is going up with the 3 points: starting point, ending point, average of those two. Again, starting point, ending point, average of those two. Starting point, ending point, average of those two. So that is the procedure that we are standardly following for Simpson 3/8 rule, right? So anyway, let me write the answer directly. So in Simpson 3/8 rule, right, after completing this process, right, நீங்க முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் automatically you will come to know, right? So this function will become that is h/3, right? See here I don't want to write the h, right? So here it is enough. So h/3 in bracket. Once again we should consider y0, and then we have to consider even multiple of, right? இங்க வந்து நீங்க reduce பண்ணும்போது என்ன வரும் அப்படினா twice of, that is 2 into even multiples, that is even numbers, y2. You are supposed to consider y4. Let me rub this graph. See guys, we are selecting 3 initial points. Don't forget. That is y4, y6 plus etc. plus yn minus 2, because we are considering even intervals, right? Plus 3 into, right? So sorry guys, 1 second, because 2, that will become 4. 4 into, let us consider odd numbers, y1, y3, y5, etc. We are considering only odd intervals, yn minus 1. See, why I am just stopping with the yn minus 1 and yn minus 2? Because last point is not going to be repeated much, right? Only one time that will exist, final point. Clear? So that is the formula that we are using in case of Simpson one-third rule, right? So in Simpson rule or Simpson one-third rule, how many initial points that we are considering? Number of initial point. You are supposed to consider 3 points, right? So don't forget, you are supposed to consider 3 points, right, at start. And the second thing is, let me consider, right? Next, what about the accurate results, right? So when we are looking for Simpson rule, right, your result is accurate, right, or getting close to accurate. Your result is accurate, right, in which you can go, your degree can go up to, right? You can consider your degree will rise, right, up to, right? You can go up to third order, right? So degree can be raised up to third. Guys, it is common actually. The result that I am writing here, it is common for both the Simpson rule and the Simpson 3/8 rule, right? So here you can go up to third order, right? You can go up to third order, but the best exact result that you are getting for second order equation, right? That is second degree, right? Third degree in the sense, see, if I am estimating, from here, that is in Simpson 3/1/3 rule up to second order, you are getting exact result. In Simpson 3/8 rule, you can raise the degree up to third. That is order, not degree, right? So you can raise the degree up to third, right? So exact result. Okay, let me demonstrate. Let me write here itself. Simpson 1/3 rule correct consider, you can raise the order up to second, right? So here itself, Simpson 3/8 rule separate, that will be better, much better. So it will second degree second degree meaning in a function f of x can be second degree, that function can be written as a0 plus, just I am writing the second characteristic equation of second order system, a1 x plus a2 x square. Clear? That is second degree polynomial equation, right? Fine. So next, what about its result? You can raise the order up to fourth order, right? So its order you can raise with the step size of 4. It will give you the exact result. Clear? I hope things are clear to you all. Now let us consider Simpson 3/8 rule in order to obtain the result, right? So in Simpson 3/8 rule, totally we are going to consider 4 points, right? The number of initial points that we are considering, right, in Simpson 3/8 rule is 4 points, right? So totally we should consider 4 points. So let me rub these things now. Yeah, let us consider Simpson 3/8 rule. Yeah, in Simpson 3/8 rule, what will be the output function? So that is going to be a to b, and your function is going to be what? F of x into dx, right? Once again, in Simpson 3/8 rule, it can be written as 3h upon 8. In bracket, we are going to consider once again initial point is y0, right? And then with the multiples of, right? So we are going to consider 2 points here. One is y2, another one is y3. 1 second. It is the multiples of 2, right? Multiples of 2 we are going to consider, right? y3, and then we are going to consider y6, right? And then we are going to consider y9. Did you notice this thing carefully? What I am doing here? yn minus 3. Multiples of 3 can be separated, right? That is, it is being segregated. Similarly, okay, let me put plus here. So that is multiples of 3 is y1 plus y2 plus y4 rest of all plus y5 plus etc. plus yn minus 1 plus yn minus 2. All people will lies here. So apart from that, we are going to consider only one person, that is your yn, final point. Clear? That is the total integration of Simpson 3/8 rule. And how many initial point we are going to consider? The number of initial point, right? So totally we are going to consider 4 initial points, right? So in order to do the integration with the Simpson 3/8 rule, and I said, right, so degree is what? Degree you can raise, right? So degree can be raised, you can go up to third, right? So third degree, right? It will give you the exact result, right, for accurate result. And step size or order is raised to up to h power 4 only, right? So the order of the system should be raised, right? Order of the system should be raised up to fourth order, right? So generally you won't be tested for this order. Simpson rule ni ketale, usually we are going up with what? Simpson 1/3 rule only. We are not following Simpson 3/8 rule. So usually you won't be tested with this one, but you will be tested with the Simpson 1/3 rule. Just do remember, that's enough. Okay, fine. Now what I am going to do, the next thing is, I said in Simpson rule in Simpson rule trapezoidal rules at all, we are trying to estimate the area of a curve, right? Exactly, that is correct. But the conclusion is, since from the beginning, right? So since starting of numerical methods itself, whichever the methods that we are going to follow in numerical, they are not giving the accurate result. I told you, right? So the problem is always there will be some error. Now the issue is that is you are supposed to estimate that error, right? If the error வந்து நீங்க calculate பண்ணனும் அப்படினா, how will you bring the error? That is I hope you all remember when I was talking about starting la நம்ம பேசிட்டு இருக்கும்போது we had been discussed about this type of error, right? There are two type of error in our numerical methods that we are going to discuss, right? So the first type of error, usually we are calling it as what? Round up error. Second, there will be one more error that is called truncation error, right? So now when we have a infinite number of terms, இப்போ நம்ம பாருங்க, நம்ம இன்டெகிரல்ல we are going to break the limits from initial point to final point, right? So we are considering infinite number of intervals, right? So while going up with more number of sub intervals, we are going to get many values, right? So but the thing is, we are neglecting small portion in each and every area. We are not covering the total value. If I am selecting a slope, in that slope we are not covering the total value. We are unable to cover a small portion. So if I will go like this, right, that small portion will become a error because I have to consider some portion, right? I cannot neglect that area, right? So directly. So the conclusion is, now we have to estimate that error, right? So that is usually called truncation error for integral rules, right? So let us see the formulas to estimate the truncation error for indefinite integral. That is error for the integration rules that we saw till now. Trapezoidalukku நம்ம என்ன truncation error எவ்வளவு error வந்து நம்ம estimate பண்றோம்? How do I estimate that error? Similarly, in Simpson rule, what type of error that is being generated and how we are estimating that one, right? So let me demonstrate that one. That is very simple. Don't think too much, right? Just understand that things that I'm giving here, right? The thing is, in case of truncation, right? So see, first of all, we saw there are two type of person here. One is rules here. One is trapezoidal method. You can go ahead with the trapezoidal, right? And you can also go ahead with the Simpson, right? You can also go ahead with the Simpson rule. So either you can follow trapezoidal rule or you can follow Simpson rule. But how we are going to estimate the truncation error, right? We should see the formula in order to estimate the truncation error for the function, right? For both of these cases, we should estimate the truncation error, right? So we have to estimate the truncation error, right? So initially I'm just going to consider, guys, listen. In Simpson rule, generally we are not keeping our attention with the 3/8s. We are going up with the what? 1/3 rule. It means in 1/3, how many points we are considering? 3 points, initial points. Whereas in trapezoidal, we are considering 2 initial points. In each and every integration, we are going to consider only 2 initial points, right? That is fine. Now, if we are considering only 2 initial points, right? So first, let us take only one interval, because I told you now, in that integration curve, we are not going to consider the total gap. We are just estimating, right? First, we have to select a small portion, and we are according to trapezoidal rule, we are trying to estimate the small area, right? So I'm just considering one single interval. Let me define the error for that single interval. See, if I draw in that trapezoidal line, you are leaving a small portion. That small portion will become a error only, na? Yes. So that error is called a truncation error, right, for trapezoidal rule. Now, how we are going to estimate that one? We should see. One second. Please wait a minute. Yeah. See, I told you, in case of truncation error, what will be the order of the system? You can raise the order up to 2, right? I only told you we can raise the order up to 2, right? And similarly, in case of what I can say Simpson rule, we can raise the order up to 4. Steps with the step size, we can raise the order up to 4, right? And the next thing is, right, after raising the order of the system, we have to do differentiation. we have to do differentiation, right? So if you are raising this step size to 4, right, then you are supposed to do integration also, right? So what will you do? So 1 second. See guys, see what will you do in the sense, you are supposed to some functions will be given to you, right? For function கொடுத்துட்டு அந்த function வந்து just you are supposed to estimate the error of the function, right? அப்ப error உங்ககிட்ட கேக்குறாங்க அப்படினா what shall we do? Function will be defined as f of x, right? Your function will be simply defined as f of x, right? இப்போ f of x ன்னு define பண்ணிருக்காங்க அப்படினா just to do the differentiation once, right? And then substitute that function here, and then in truncation error again repeat the same procedure, but here you are supposed to go ahead, right? So you are supposed to go up with the fourth order differentiation and you'll have to substitute that value here, right? And in the denominator, see actually I am neglecting that procedure, and here you are getting 90, right? And with this, see I said I am considering only one interval, here also I am considering only one interval, If you are raising the number of intervals, right, suppose if you are raising the number of intervals to what I can suggest n interval நீங்க raise பண்றீங்க அப்படினா this function would be multiplied by n, right? So for an example, if I am raising the order to n, right, then the same function actually I am just calculating. See listen guys, exam la வந்து there are two types. Generally வந்து error னு மட்டும் கேட்டாங்க அப்படினா your answer will be, நீங்க calculate பண்ணும்போது answer வந்து எதுல வரும்னா நெகட்டிவ்ல தான் வரும். just வர answer நீங்க அப்படியே substitute பண்ணிக்கோங்க. if you are simply requested to find out the error, suppose இதுல வந்து see let me do one thing, okay, let us consider like this is for one interval. if you are tested for n interval, right, இப்போ n interval உங்ககிட்ட கேக்குறாங்க அப்படினா just you will have to take this function and you will have to multiply it by n such that it will become minus h square into, right, so f dash of x, right, in the denominator we are going to consider 12, right, and you are supposed to consider n interval, similarly when we are looking for n interval here also, right, so that is minus h power 4 fourth order derivative, that is 90. if you are considering one interval, then this will be result. if you are considering n interval, if you are looking for n interval, right, that is the fourth order derivation, right guys, listen here, you will get 180 with the n when you are looking for n interval. Why? Because I told you Simpson rule ல வந்து 3 points நீங்க கன்சிடர் பண்ணணும். அப்படினா மீனிங் என்ன, நீங்க ஒவ்வொரு டைம் வந்து 3 points கன்சிடர் பண்ணும்போது how many intervals will exist? See there you will have two intervals. At each and every time you are considering two intervals. அப்படினா மீனிங் என்ன, total number of intervals you will have to, for an example 1000 intervals கொடுத்திருக்காங்க அப்படினா first of all 1000 interval in each and every integration we are going to consider two interval. So for one integration it's required two interval. It means அப்ப 1000 intervals இருக்கு அப்படினா, right, in order to complete the total integration how many intervals we should consider, right? Sub interval should be 1000, but for one integration I am considering what, two intervals. Then in order to complete the total integration I am in need of n by 2 intervals. Are you getting me? n ங்கிறது 1000, பட் ஒரு இன்டெகிரேஷனை கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணதுக்கு எனக்கு என்ன வேணும், ஐ மீன் நீட் ஆஃப் டூ இன்டர்வல்ஸ். அப்போ நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க, இந்த 1000ல் ஃபஸ்ட்டு 2 இன்டர்வல்ஸ் வந்து நீங்கள் இன்டெகிரேஷனுக்காக கன்சிடர் பண்ணணும், ரைட்? இதே மாதிரி செகண்ட் பர்சனுக்கு 2 இன்டர்வல்ஸ், தேர்ட் பர்சனுக்கு 2 இன்டர்வல், லைக் தட் 500 இன்டர்வல்ஸ், ஐ மீன் 500 இன்டெகிரேஷன்ஸ் நீங்கள் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணும்போது 1000 இன்டர்வல்ஸை நீங்கள் பிளாக் பண்ணிடுவீங்க. ஐ மீன் 500 இன்டெகிரேஷன் அப்படின்னா 500 டைம்ஸ் வந்து நீங்கள் இன்டெகிரேஷன் பண்ணி முடிக்கும் போது 1000 இன்டர்வல்ஸ் வில் கம். Why? Because in each and every integration we are considering two intervals. So the number of intervals will always be estimated as n by 2 only, right? Because அப்ப டோட்டலா 500 இன்டெகிரேஷனுக்கு நீங்க மொத்தமா பாத்தீங்கன்னா 500 intervals, 500 sub intervals னு சொல்லிடலாம். பட் ஒவ்வொரு இன்டெகிரேஷனுக்குள்ளேயும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, right, for each and every integration we are considering two sub intervals, such that the total number of intervals will always be divided by 2 in case of Simpson 3/8 rule, right? Such that that's why you are getting 180. Already இங்க 90 இருக்கா, அப்ப நீங்க n by 2 substitute பண்ணீங்கன்னா 2 into 90 will become 180, right? So this is normal truncation error. Suppose if you are supposed to estimate the absolute value, right? Absolute value அப்படினா just to put the mod, don't consider this sign. Just to make very clear notes, கீழே எழுதிக்கோங்க. If you are requested to find out the absolute error, then don't consider this sign. That is enough. அப்சல்யூட் எரர் கேட்டாங்கன்னா இந்த சைன் தேவையில்லை, நீங்கள் இதை அப்படியே சப்ஸ்டிட் பண்ணால் போதும், ரைட்? ஃபைன். ஸோ லெட் மீ ரப் திஸ் திங்ஸ். மேம் என்ன கேட்டிருக்கீங்க? ட்ரபிசைடல் ரூல் ஸ்டெப் சைஸ் வராதா? எந்த இடத்துல மேம் கேட்குறீங்க? ட்ரபிசைடல் ரூலில் வேர் வி ஹவ் நாட் கன்சிடர் தி ஸ்டெப் சைஸ். ஃபார்முலாவில் எழுதாம விட்டுட்டேனா? One second, did I make any mistakes? Okay, I think see ஆமாம் trapezoidal rule நம்ம guys listen, let me write a to b f of x into dx. I think I forgot to consider h by 2, right? Step size நம்ம முன்னாடி எழுதல. We brought the solution for function, that is twice of y1 plus y2 plus etc plus yn minus 1. Yes, you're correct, right? This is going to be yn, right? With this, guys listen, just we had been estimated the total integration, that is total integral area, right? Area. With this we have to estimate the step size, right, for each and every function, for how, that is which how many step size that we are going, that is we are trying to estimate each and every area, right? So just to consider h by 2 here. I forgot to given proof also. Anyway, just to notice this one. Thank you for remembering, ma'am. Yeah, I have seen it. Yes, h by 2 will come here. Please note this one. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yes, please take care. What I can say, trapezoidal rule, just note this h by 2, right? That's enough. Okay, fine. See, what we saw now, we took 3 rules, right? We took 3 rules. See, for these 3 rules, we have standard proofs, right? I am repeating once again, there are no big things. I can directly demonstrate those procedures here, but that is waste of time. I don't want to waste your time here, right? So in future, in free times, we can read, right? Fine. So let us take these equations that we learned till now, right? But now, our next, wait. Let's solve the problems, right, in order to get the very clear idea, right? So totally we had been discussed about 3 people. One is trapezoidal rule, second one is Simpson 1/3 rule, and third one is Simpson 3/8 rule, right? So let me demonstrate, right? So let us take the problems, right, in order to get the very clear idea about this intervals and the functions and all. One second, let me take the integration. Okay guys, write down the question number 1. Simpson rule for integration gives exact result. Right? Simpson rule for integration gives exact results when f of x is a polynomial function of degree less than or equal to. Right? When f of x, see, Simpson rule for integration gives exact result when f of x. Please write down the question. Simpson rule for integration, sorry, Simpson rule, sometimes we are not using this h, right? Don't think about the things, right? Simpson rule for integration, right? See, இந்த மாதிரி ஜெனரலா கேட்டிருந்தாங்க அப்படின்னா Simpson rule will give you what, up to less than or equal to 3rd degree. That's all, right? We know the answer for this one. Anyway, அவங்க question என்ன கேட்டிருக்காங்கன்னா Simpson rule for integration gives exact result, right? So for integration gives, question is, let me continue, right? Gives exact result, right? Gives exact result when f of x is a polynomial function of, right? When f of x is a polynomial function of, right? When f of x is a polynomial function of, when f of x is a polynomial function of, answer is what, less than or equal to 3 degree. That is general, right? So we know now that 2nd degree 3rd degree different பண்ணது எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா, sometimes you will be tested with the numerical equations. நியூமரிக்கலா வந்து questions நீங்க எழுதுற மாதிரி இருக்கும். அப்போ நீங்க வந்து 2nd degree கன்சிடர் பண்ண போகுதுன்றதுக்காக தான் நான் அதை எழுதுனேன், right? So anyway, what I told you, right? Generally Simpson rule means what, combinedly we can go up to what, 3rd degree, right? So 3 degree வரைக்கும் you can go, right? Okay, fine. The next question is Newton ruption, trapezoidal rule. next question, the trapezoidal rule for integration, right? இதே question trapezoidal rule க்கு கேட்டிருக்காங்க, right? So you are requested to, second question is trapezoidal rule, right? Trapezoidal rule, right? The given question is trapezoidal rule for integration gives exact result, right? Trapezoidal rule for integration gives, same question, right? Gives exact result, right? So trapezoidal rule for integration gives exact result when the integrand is a polynomial degree of, right? Can you please post your answer? When the integration will be a polynomial degree of, right? Will be a polynomial degree of, when the integration will be a polynomial degree of, right? Up to less than or equal to what? It is going to be what? First degree. We had been discussed about that one. We can raise these things up to first degree, right? Just now I had given the conclusion, right? So that is the exact result, right? It means you can consider 0 and 1. Okay, next question, please, 1 second. I had selecting the question, right? So next one, write down, if the interval of integration, right? Write down the question. If the interval of integration, if the interval of integration if the interval of integration is divided into two equal intervals of width, right? If the interval of integration, right? If the interval of integration is divided into two equal intervals, is divided into two equal intervals, is two equal intervals of width 1, then the value of the definite integral, right? Then the value of the definite integral then the value of the definite integral 1 to 3 log base e x into dx, right? Using Simpson 1/3 rule will be, using Simpson 1/3 rule will be, using Simpson 1/3 rule will be, right? So that is the question, and they had given 4 options. Let me write down the options also. Option A, they said 0.5. In option B, they said 0.8. In option C, they said 1. In option D, they said 0.29. Clear? So they had given 4 options totally, right? Now how will you bring the answer for this function? Okay, first of all, we are supposed to use the Simpson 1/3 rule. Anyway, definite integral is given na. Whereas if the interval of the integration is divided into two equal intervals with 1 அப்படின்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. Guys listen, your integration is being started, right? So usually நம்ம எப்படி எழுதுவோம், right? It has been started from a to b, correct? Right? Into f of x into dx. That is the general representation of any function, right? I am just comparing. Here the value of a is what? 1, and the value of b is what? 3, right? And width of the function, width denotes step size. Do you all agree with me? Step size, that is width in the sense between first person and the second person, what is the gap, right? So that width is given here. How much? That is 1. Then how many sub intervals should be required? N is equal to, we saw the formula, b minus a upon step size, right, where b is 3 minus a is 1, step size also 1, such that 3 minus 1, what we need to consider, we have to consider, that is totally 2 sub intervals should be required, right? 2 sub intervals in the sense, it's very simple. We have to start from 1, second value is 2, step size is clearly given, direct நீங்க எழுதனால எழுதிக்கலாம். step size 1 first value 1 அடுத்த value வந்து 2 தான், then only in between them your step size is going to be 1. அதுக்கு அடுத்து next value யாரு 3, அவ்வளவுதான். maximum value is 3, minimum value is 1, such that we are selecting 2 sub intervals, either interval 1, interval 2. Yes, we have been selected, right? So let me develop the blocks for this. So let us rub this one. Yeah, so what we have understood, so totally we have to create, right? So we have to create 1 2 3. This is x actually, this is x values. So see there, your x-axis la enna irukum, in x-axis only we are considering this limit, we are just going from 1 to 3. This is called y-axis value, right? So this is your f of x, this is your x, right? So this is called f of x, y-axis value, right? So this is x, and we should estimate the corresponding f of x before applying it into the formula. Guys listen, log base e is known as ln only, correct? Log base e should be equal to ln only, right? So actually what it was given, they had given ln x, right? So given it is ln x. Please take your calc, right? Let us substitute. First x ku 1 potting abdina, what is the equivalent value of ln 1? We all know ln 1 will be 0. And then we have to consider the equivalent value for ln 2 and ln 3. That's all. See, I am just substituting. This is my f of x, right? I know value of x. X we are going to travel from 1 to 3, and the intervals வந்து நம்ம equal break பண்ணியாச்சு. We are going to travel from 1 to 2 first, and then we are going to travel from 2 to 3, and the corresponding f of x also we know very well now, right? Now after knowing this all values, let us apply, right? We should estimate, or we have to bring the answer with the help of what? Simpson 1/3 rule. Before applying Simpson 1/3 rule, guys listen, நம்ம graph develop பண்ணும்போது இங்க first value, this is f of x. f of x is known as y only, correct? f of x is known as y only, right? So here the first value is known as y0. first இத முடிச்சிருங்க, first value is y0, last value is always yn, final value, right? So y0 yn first கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டு அவங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் வெளியில எடுத்துறணும். அதுக்கு அப்புறம் நடுவுல இருக்க பர்சன் நீங்க கன்சிடர், இன்டர்மீடியேட்ல இருக்கவங்களுக்கு நீங்க நேம் வச்சுக்கலாம். first one y0 அப்படினா second person is y1, that's all. There are no y2 y3. இத நீங்க y2 ஆ கன்சிடர் பண்ண கூடாது. This is the last point. You cannot treat this one as the y2, you have to treat this one as the yn, final point. Clear? That's all, right? So we found there are 3 points are there, y0, y1, yn. Clear? So let us substitute the formula here. Let's bring the answer. Now what is Simpson 1/3 rule? In Simpson 1/3 rule, our answer is h by 3, right? So let me write the integral function. This function should be equal to h by 3. In bracket we have to consider y0, right? And we have to consider two people. One is 2 into y2 plus y4 plus etc. up to yn minus 2, and we have to consider one more person, that is called 4. With this we have to consider odd values y1, y3, and we are requested to travel up to yn minus 1. With this we have to consider the final point. Clear? Yes, this is our Simpson 1/3 rule. But here I have y0. y0 is there. What is the value of y0? y0 is 0, right? So y0 is 0. Next I have yn. yn is how much? ln 3, right? So yn is equal to ln 3. What about y1? y1 is ln 2. This is ln 2. Do you have any other values? No. Rest of people are going to be 0. That's all. If you don't have any other values, just to make them as 0. And what about step size? Step size is 1. It was given in the question, that is 1 upon 3 in bracket y0 is 0 plus this total term is going to be 0. We are going to consider 4 into ln 2. Exactly, we are going to consider 4 into ln 2 only, plus yn. yn is ln 3, right? So yn is ln 3. Clear? Such that let me reduce this function. Finally what we are going to get, did anyone got the answer? Okay, no problem, slowly wait. First I will solve some 5 to 6 problems, because you all have to get the idea how we are facing the questions. Then you will automatically started solving these problems, right? Fine. So let me reduce the function further. 1 upon 3 in bracket we got 4 ln 2 plus ln 3. Let me reduce the function further. Guys, we all know it can be anywhere, directly can solve. See what we know, ln of a power b should be equal to b into ln a, such that இப்போ இந்த 4 வந்து ln க்கு மேல கொண்டு போனீங்கன்னா that is 2 power 4 னு வரும், or we can say ln 2 power 4 will be 16. I am writing in this format. In the 4 வந்து இங்க எடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டேன், right? So ln 16 plus ln 3, correct? Anyway, ln AB is what? Ln A plus ln B become ln of AB, ln A plus ln B should be equal to ln of AB. See, why I am substituting this all things? This formulas, using these formulas here may not necessary. But in future, you are supposed to use this formula often. That's why I'm just introducing these formulas into your brain, right? Fine. So ln A plus ln B become what? Ln of AB, right? Such that ln of 16 times of 3 is how much? 48. Correct? Now take your calc. Just to tell me what is the equivalent value of ln 48. Let me do it by myself. 48, I should take ln. I'm getting 3.8 and I have to divide it by 3. I'm getting 1.29, right? Do we have any option like that? No. What is the answer? Simpson 1/3 rule, the interval. One second, guys. Let me check the option first. Okay, please correct this one. This is 1.29. They made mistake in the option. Okay, so the correct answer is option D. Okay, fine. Let me rub this one, right? Let us take the second question. See, option D correct பண்ணிக்கோங்க. They made mistake, right? Option is wrong. There may be printing mistake. Yeah. Let us select the next question. Please wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, next question, write down. The table below gives the value of a function f of x. Let me write. The table below gives the values of function f of x. Gives the values of the function f of x obtained for values of x at the intervals of obtained for values, right? Obtained for values of x at interval 0.25 at interval 0.25 is, right? They had given just x f of x directly box they had given, right? We are feeling happy, right? And here the given it is they are considering 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 1. It is given. Similarly, second that is going to be 1, 0.9412, right? And second one, this is going to be 0.8 and this is going to be 0.64, that is 0.64, and this is 0.5, right? Yes. Now this is the given box, right? Okay, now what we need to do, the question is, right? The question is the value of the integral of the function between the limits 0 to 1 using the Simpson rule, right? So in the function of the value என்னன்னு கேக்குறாங்க, right? So the value of the integral function, right? The value of the integral of the function between the limits, the value of the integral of the function, the value of the integral of the function between the limits, integral of the function between the limits, right? Between the limits 0 to 1 is, The value of the integral of the function between 0 to 1 is, right? Now, further they are given 4 options. Option A, they said 0.7854. Option B, they said 2.3562. Please do it, don't wait for me. Option C, 3.1416. Option D, they said 7.5000. That's all, right? So totally 4 options they are given. Shall we proceed? The question is, we have to use what? Generally, what என்ன rule யூஸ் பண்ண சொல்லியிருக்காங்க? I forgot to write this one, right? Using Simpson rule, right? Using Simpson rule. Simple கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Just Simpson மட்டும் mention பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, right? So using Simpson rule, right? If it is simply given as a Simpson rule, then what will you do? We have to use Simpson 1/3 rule, right? So exactly, we have to use Simpson 1/3 rule. So we know the formula, right? So 1 second. I don't know whether this space is visible to you all. Let me check it by myself first. Yeah, this portion is visible to you all. I'm just writing the answer directly. Guys, listen. We know the formula. While going from integral a to b, f of x into dx, Simpson 1/3 rule formula is what? H upon 3 in bracket. Once again, we should consider y naught in bracket, that is 2 into, we have to estimate y2 plus y4 plus etc plus yn minus 2, right? Simpson, again we have to consider, that is 2, and then we should consider what? 4, and in bracket we have to consider y1 plus y3 plus etc plus yn minus 1 plus yn will be separated, right? We know all these things. And here the first point is going to be y0, and the last point is going to be yn, and then the second point is going to be y1, this is y2, and this is going to be y3. Now let us substitute all these values, right? Now what will you do? See there, I have y0. Y0 is how much? 1. What about y1? Yeah, I'm also having y1, and we are also having y2, and we are also having y3, and we are also having yn. Rest of all are going to be 0, right? So let us substitute those values. I'm just rubbing this top, right? Because I don't have space, I'm just continuing from here. If you are substituting all the values, what about the step size here? Step size in the sense, that is the gap between the first two functions, x and 0.25. That is, see there, the gap is 0.25. Anyway, step size already given in your question itself. 0.25 upon 3 in bracket. Let's substitute y0 is 1. This is y0, and then plus 2 into y2 is how much? Where is y2? This is y2, 0.8. Do we have any other value here? No. Rest of all are going to be 0. Because I have only y2, y4 and y6 at all not available. Next, we have to select 4. In bracket with this, we have to consider y1, y3. Where is y1? y1 is 0.9412 plus, and y3 is 0.6. Now, final value is 0.5. That's all. Right? Now, if you are reducing this one, you will get the answer. Can you please do it? Don't wait for me. I'm repeating because this is very simple methods, right? I can demonstrate with some extraordinary explanations by drawing the graphs and how it is came, each and every intervals, right? After that, in your paper it will become 10 papers, right? And automatically you will come to know integration will become, it is too difficult, we are unable to solve the problems. உங்களுக்கு என்ன பாயிண்ட் வேணுமோ அது மைண்டில் ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆகாது. That's why I was restricting the explanations. I'm not going in that way. See guys, if anybody want to know the in-depth explanations of your mathematics, you can refer the great author Gruel, right? Many of you guys might knowing that person, right? So for mathematics all over India, right, including our standard universities, right, we are following Gruel only. He is the god of engineering mathematics. You can just refer his book, you will come to know how beauty of your mathematics. For each and everything, he had given clear-cut demonstrations, right? Gruel, his name is Gruel. You can refer, right? You can also find some PDF. I think, I don't know whether it is available or not, but you can purchase the book in the market if you want. Fine, let's continue. 0.25 is equal to 1 by 4, correct? So 0.25 is equal to 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 into 3, it can be written as 1 by 12. 0.25 க்கு பதிலா I am just telling நீங்க 1 by 4 னு போட்டுக்கலாம். So it can be written like this in bracket, that is 1 plus 2 into 0.8 will give you 1.6, such that, oh, many of you guys got the answer, huh? Yeah, feeling happy. No problem. Anyway, for my satisfaction, I'm just completing the integration. 1 second, right? 0.9412 I should add with it will be added up with the 0.6. Sorry, 0.6. I'm getting 1.542 and I have to multiply it by 4, then plus 1.6 plus 1 plus 0.5 divided by 12. Yeah, we are getting 0.7720, right? So the exact value is 0.7720, right? What is the given answer? Option lo what they told 0.7854, right? I think I left some value here, right? So the option is what? Option A, right? According to your answer, I'm just selecting. I left some decimal, you just substitute. 1 second, let me coming back to the class. Yeah, guys, are you guys are getting 0.7854, right? You just fix it. With this, let's select option A, right? As per your answer, just go ahead, right? Fine. Let us select the next one. I think I had been changed that value, right? One value mathi pottina oda answer maradum, right? Now you can see that result for that. Fine. Next one, again write down the question. The question is once again the integral just we are going from 1 to 3. 1 to 3. Given function is 1 by x into dx. Function is 1 by x. When evaluated by using Simpson 1/3 rule, when evaluated by using Simpson 1/3 rule, right? Simpson 1/3 rule. When evaluated by using Simpson 1/3 rule on two equal subintervals, right? On equal two subintervals, each of length 1, right? Each of length 1, right? Equals 2, right? Each of length 1 equals 2. Each of length 1, that is equals 2. And there are 4 options. Option A, they said 1.000. In option B, they said 1.008. Option C, 1.41. Option D, 1.120, right? Can you please estimate the answer? Guys, listen, everything they had given, right? So the function is what? This is your f of x. First formulate the tabular column, that is f of x, and you are supposed to use Simpson 1/3 rule once again, and rules, and we have to use what? Two equal subintervals, okay, and each of length 1, that is step size they had given, right? Shall we tabulate the formula, right? Let's see what it was given. X, we should go with the f of x. X is what? We have to go, starting point is 1 and subinterval length எவ்வளோங்க, step size வந்து 1. அப்போ இங்கே 1, next value will be 2, next value will be 3, same as, right? So 1 to 3, and f of x equal to x க்கு 1 ன்னு போட்டிங்கன்னா what about f of x? 1 by 1 will be 1. x க்கு 2 போட்டிங்கன்னா what about f of x? That is 1 by 2. x க்கு 3 போட்டிங்கன்னா what about f of x? That will be 1 by 3. This is f of x. Fine. After computing this value, we all know first value is what? y0. Last value yn. Now starting from this, if it is y0, then the second value y1. What is the Simpson 1/3 rule? Step size h upon 3, y0 plus, right? Y0 plus, just we should consider twice of y2 plus y4 plus etc. up to yn minus 2 plus 4 into y1 plus y3 plus etc. plus yn minus 1 plus last point is yn. Now in this total formula, right, the available values are, for y0 I have value, then for y1 I have value, then for yn I have, rest of all are going to be 0, such that step size is 1, so 1 upon 3 in bracket y0 is going to be 1 plus this total term is going to be 0 because I don't have y2 y3, that is y2 y4 at all. So directly let me estimate, second point is going to be 0, third 4 into y1 is how much, that is 1 by 2, yes, y1 is 1 by 2 and the last person is yn, that is 1 by 3, right? So if I will reduce this function, what I will get, just if we can cancel it, it will become 2, 2 plus 1 will become 3, 3 plus 1 by 3, so let us reduce this one. So here we have 3 in bracket, we are getting 3 plus 1 by 3, or we can say that is 3 plus 1 by 3 LCM எடுத்து போட்டிங்க, it will be 10 by 3, or let me reduce for your understanding. Actually here we have, one second, 3 plus 1 by 3. Guys, if you reduce this one, what will you get? Cross product பண்ணுங்க, 9. 9 plus 1, 10. 10 upon 3 வரும், but 3 into 3 will become 9, right? If you reduce this one, it will become 1.1111, right? Do we have option? Yes. Option C is the correct answer. Yeah. Someone got the answer. Next, let us take the question. The function given, right, using trapezoidal rule you are supposed to bring the answer, right? So let me rub this one. See, while doing integrations, right, at sometimes if I make any mistakes in substituting the values, please you should correct it by yourself, don't wait for me, right? Yeah, let us moving on to the next one. Write down the question. A function f of x is known as known at the following points, right? A function f of x is known, one second, yeah, is known at the following points, at the following points, right? That is given x is given, f of x also given, right? They are given many values. Let me start 0 to 3 they are going, so this is 0, next they are considering 0.3, 0.6, 0.9, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8, 2.1, 2.4, 2.7, 3, right? I hope this is visible to you all. Yeah, that is enough. Just let me substitute the corresponding value they are given, right? For first they are given 0, second they are given 0.09, for the third person they are given 0.36, fourth person they are given 0.81, for fifth person they are given 1.44 I think, for the sixth person they are given 2.25, for the seventh person he is given 3.24, next person is given 4.41, and then he is given 5.76, and then 7.29, and then they said that is 9. That is the given values, right? Now the target is, the question is the value, right, of the function computed using trapezoidal rule, right? So the value integral, just they are going from 1 to 3 with the f of x into dx. I think 0 to 3, yeah? Yes guys, that is 0, sorry, 0 to 3 computed using trapezoidal rule, right, is computed, this function is being computed using trapezoidal rule, right, using trapezoidal rule. Clear? That is the question, right? Let's see how to bring the answer for this function, right? Let us see. Okay, fine, right? இப்போ இதுக்கு ஆன்சர் என்ன அப்படின்னா, see, already f of x is given here, you don't need to know that values at all, எனக்கு எதுவுமே தேவையில்லை, right? டைரக்டா trapezoidal rule நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணோம், first thing, right? Step size you can directly identify here. Guys, what is the step size? While going from first person to second person, just to see the difference between these two person, 0 to 0.3, so step size h equal to what? 0.3, right? With the 0.3 they are increasing the values, right? Fine, that is enough. So I know step size, that is 0.3, first one. Next, in trapezoidal rule, what is the formula? The formula is a to b f of x into dx. This function can be directly rewritten as h upon 3 in bracket. You are supposed to consider y naught plus 2 into y1 plus y2 plus y3. You are supposed to continue up to preceding point of the last one, yn minus 1 plus yn. That's all. This is the general formula that we saw already in trapezoidal. Let's substitute all variables here. Guys, listen here. என்னென்ன வேல்யூஸ்லாம் நமக்கு தெரியும்? We know this is y naught, exactly. This is yn, last value. Now this is going to be y1, this is y2, y3, y4, y5, y6, y7, y8, y9. Totally they are given 9 values. Let us substitute. Step size is 0.3 upon 3 in bracket. Y0 is given as 0 plus 2 into y1. How much? 0.09. Just to take your calci, add all these values. 0.09 plus 0.36 plus 0.81 plus 0, that is 1.44 plus 2.25 plus 3.24 plus 4.41 plus 5.76 plus 7.29. Correct? Yeah, we have to consider all these values plus the final point is yn, that is 9. Clear? Yes. Let's take the calc and bring the answer. Did anyone got the answer? Please post your answer if you got. Wait a minute, I'm just how to open the calc in order to bring the answer. And I had not given the options, sir. Wait a minute, let me write the options, because if I'll make any mistakes you can correct it, that's why. Options are 8.983, option A. Option B they given 9.003. Option C they said 9.017. Option D 9.045, I think 9.045. See there, if you make small mistake then that will change your answer. See your options, right? So please go ahead with the exact values. Let me proceed. That is 0.09. I'm just proceeding by myself, you please do it by yourself. 0.36 plus 0.81 plus 1.44 plus 2.25 plus 3.24 plus 4.41 plus 5.76 plus 7.29 equal to 25. I'm getting just into, I have to multiply by 2 plus I have to add 9 with this, and then we will have to multiply by 0.3 and divided by 0.1, right? I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Multiplied by 0.1 divided by 3. I'm not getting the answer, right? I think I made mistake. Guys, listen, we are in trapezoidal rule, right? See there, sorry. Multiplied by 3 divided by 2. 9.045, right? A small mistake, please see there. நம்ம Simpson 1/3 இருந்ததால இந்த 2 போறதுக்கு நான் மறந்துட்டேன். h by 2 only na. We are in trapezoidal rule. In trapezoidal we have h by 2, right? Not h by 3. Yeah, option D I'm getting. You please check it by yourself. Did anyone post your answer? You take wrong step. Yes sir, I took wrong step. H by 3, right? That is h by 2. That is a step up on 2, right? So I got the answer as 9.045. Okay, fine. Let's select the next one. Again, we are supposed to do the calculation with the help of trapezoidal only, right? So let me rub these things. Yeah, Let's see, actually that function is the value of a function, right? So a function f of s is known at the following points, the value of the function, right? See, let me rub this one. Question is the value of the function, right? That is given. Function given is they are traveling from 2.5 to 4, that is the given interval, and f of x is ln x, that is ln x enter do x, right? Sorry, t dx, computed using same, right, a trapezoidal rule with the 5 sub intervals. They said with the 5 sub intervals, given it is with the 5 sub intervals. How will you bring the answer, right? So let's, guys, is it going good or not, class? Yeah, I think class is going good. Okay, let us see. See, there is no option, right? They are not given option, guys. That is a numerical question. Fine. We can easily bring. Ln x is given. What we are supposed to travel from 2.5 to 4. Step size given? No, not given. But what it was given? Subinterval is given. So what shall we do? Number of subintervals n equal to 5. Step size, let's see. Step size h is equal to b minus a upon n. N denotes the number of subintervals, right? So b is what? 4 minus a is 2.5 upon n is what? 5, such that 4 minus 2.5 will give you 1.5. Yes, I'm correct, right? And divided by 5, right? Can you cancel it? Yes, that is going to be what? 0.3, right? So the step size, right, h is equal to 0.3. Once you find the step size, let's take initial value, right? X க்கு நீங்க எங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணனும்? You should start at 2.5. Next with the step size 0.3. 2.5 now next value will become 2.8 because step size is 0.3. Next value is 3.1. Next 3.4. Next 3.7. Next 4.0. Do we get the answer? Yes, see there one gap in between first sub interval, one gap 1 interval 2 3 4 5, totally 5 sub intervals we got. Yes, now our target is we have to achieve the value of f of x. See, already we have ln x, right? Ln x is in our hand. This is our f of x. This is our f of x. Now we have to substitute these values like ln, that is you have to find ln of 2.5 and then ln of 2.8, and then we have to consider ln of 3.1, and then we have to consider ln of 3.4, and then we have to calculate ln of 3.7, and then we have to calculate ln of 4, right? Yes, we got the f of x also, value also, right? Let's try and bring the answer with the help of trapezoidal rule. Guys, please don't wait for me, bring the answer by yourself, right? So let me rub this one. Yeah, let us rub these things. Let me write down, right? The conclusion is, right, so what is the formula in trapezoidal, right? So the formula is, we all know, while traveling from a to b with any function f of x into dx, it can be generally calculated in the alternative way, that is h upon 2, that is with y naught plus in bracket, that is twice of y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4, all values will lies here. You should travel up to yn minus 1 and you are supposed to consider yn. Let me close this one. Let's continue with this. Step size is how much? Step size, right, already we found, that is 0.3. So step size is same as the previous question also, we get 0.3 only, na? Yes. Let's continue our journey with this. Right now we have to substitute all values. What about y naught? Where is y naught here? Please wait a minute. See, this is going to be y naught, first value. Last value is going to be yn, right? Let us substitute. This is y1, y2, y3, y4. Let us substitute these values. So y naught is how much? Ln 2.5, exactly, that is correct, plus and 2 into in bracket y1, y2, y3, y4. Totally we have 4 values, right? That is ln of 2.8 plus ln of 3.1 plus ln of 3.4 plus ln 3.7, right? So that is what I got here, plus yn. Yn is ln 4, right? So yn is ln 4. So let me close this one. So let me rub these things now and let us take the calc and let's try and bring the answer. Can you please do it by yourself? Don't wait for me, right? You please do it, because if I'll make any mistakes, you can correct it, right? Don't blindly follow me while doing the calculations. In calc, I may do some mistakes, right? Fine. See, we can directly club ln A plus ln B plus ln C plus ln D, that is a product direct. Ln A plus ln B can be written as what? Ln of AB, such that ln A plus ln B plus ln C plus ln D can be written as ln of A into B into C into D. Directly we can multiply them, right? So let me bring the answer, right, in a short way. You can also solve this one, that is நீங்க உங்களுக்கு என்ன தோணுதோ அப்படி ஃபாலோ பண்ணுங்க. I am just going the way that I am thinking, right? So 2.8 into 3.1, see, wait a minute, 3.1 into 3.4 into 3.7, right? And then I should take ln, so let me square it before, square, and then I would like to take ln for this, and I got some value, right? 9.368 ln 4 ln 2.5, that is ln 10, plus we have to consider 10 ln edukanum, right? So I got 11.688, right? I have to multiply by 0.3 and I have to divide it by 2, such that I am getting 1.7533, right? How many of you getting the same answer? 1.7533, that is what my answer. Yeah, 1.7533, right? So the answer that I am getting for this function is 1.7533. That's all. Clear, right? Fine. Next question. Let's try and bring the answer for the next question. Simpson 1/3 rule once again. Yeah, you are requested to solve this equation by Simpson 1/3 rule only. Yes. Let me rub this one. Okay guys, I am selecting question. The next one is for step size, right? Question is for step size. For step size, del x equal to 0.4. They are using del x. We are using h, right? The value of the following integral using Simpson 1/3 rule. The value of the following integral, right? So the value of the following integral, right? So the value of the following integral using Simpson 1/3 rule, right? They said that is you are supposed to use Simpson 1/3 rule, right? So you are supposed to use Simpson 1/3 rule, and function is given, right? So function is defined as 0 to 0.8, right? So it is being defined as 0 to 0.8, right? And we are considering 0.2 plus 25 times of x, right? 25 times of x minus 200 times of x power 2, right? Plus 675 times of x power 3, right? 675 times of x power 3 minus 900 times of x power 4, minus 900 times of x power 4 plus 400 times of x power 5, 400 times of x power 5 with respect to dx. That is the given function, right? And step size is given now. See, don't be panic, right? Because step size is not big one. Step size எத்தனை கொடுத்திருக்காங்க பாருங்க. Del x equal to 0.4, and you are supposed to use Simpson 1/3 rule. Let's see, x is starting from 0 and we should travel up to 0.8, which is step size 0.4. அப்போ இது எப்படி எழுதுவீங்க? For x the values are 0, 0.4, 0.8, that's all. Because only one interval we are getting only one gap, because the thing is step size is given as 0.4 na. If first value is 0, second point will be 0.4 only, next value automatically we are terminating, it's over, right? So we have to estimate this value for only these three people, right? Anyway, let us consider f of x. Which is our f of x? This is our f of x. X ku first 0 போடுங்க. X க்கு 0 போட்டீங்கன்னா 0 0 0 0 0, all values will going to be 0. You are going to get only 0.2. We have to estimate for these two people, like 0.8 0.4, and for 0.8 we have to find out the value, right? Can you please take your calculation and do it for me? Please try. Don't be panic just by looking at the question. We all know this question is easy, we all know the formula, right? But don't be lazy. That's very important, right? Fine. Anyway, x is 0.4 na? Yes. Let's try and bring the answer. If it is 0.4, then the answer is 0.2 plus in bracket we have to consider 0.25, sorry, we have to consider 25 into 0.4, right? Yeah, that is over, and then I have to give minus in bracket. We have to consider 200 into 0.4 square of 0.4 square, right? It's over. I am getting minus 21.8 plus, we should consider once again, let me open the bracket, 675. I have to multiply it by x cube, that is 0.4. I have to cube, right? Find this cube value. I am getting 21.4, right? And then see, up to this I got 21.4. Let me write myself, and then minus, let me consider 900, sorry, see there, 0.4, I should raise the power to 4, right? And then I have to multiply it by 900. We should change the sign. With this I have to consider 21.4. I'm getting minus 1.64, right? With up to this point I got 1.64, but that is minus. And then we should consider 0.4, and I have to raise the power to 5, and I have to multiply it by 400, and then we should add or subtract 1.64 from this. I'm getting 2.456, right? You please check it by yourself. I'm getting 2.456, right? So let us see the third one, right? So now we have to substitute 0.8, right? So 0.2 plus in bracket, we have to consider 25 into, sorry, in 25 into 0.8, I am getting 20 plus, and then minus, I have to open up the bracket, 200 into x square, that is 0.8. We should just square it, and I have to close it, and then plus I have to open up the bracket, 675 into, we should find x cube, that is 0.8. We have to take a cube such that I am closing the bracket. I am getting 237.8. Up to this point I am getting 237.8, right? Let me try it by myself. Minus in bracket, we have to consider 900, and I have to multiply it by 0.8, and I have to raise the power to 4 such that I am getting minus 130.84, and then we have to add plus in bracket. We have to consider 400. I have to multiply it by x power 5. So 0.8, I have to raise the power to 5 such that I am getting 0.232, right? So last I am getting 0.232. Clear? Yes. Now let's substitute. We know the formula, right? What we know? The formula is Simpson one-third rule formula, right? So we are going from A to B. F of x into dx, that can be estimated as, right? So the formula is step size, that is hf on 3 y naught plus in bracket we have to consider 2 into y2 plus y4 plus etc. We should consider up to yn minus 2 we have to travel plus 4 into y1 plus y3 plus etc. I should travel up to yn minus 1 plus yn. Clear? That's all. Now here we have to substitute the values. What I have to do? Step size. First we have to know the step size. It was given already. Step size is 0.4, right? So 0.4 upon 3. In bracket, which are all the values are available? Y0 is there, yn is there, y1 is there, right? So I have y0, y1, yn. Shall we substitute? Yes. So y0 is how much? 0.2. We all know. Plus, do you have y2, y4? No. This total term is going to be 0. Yes. Directly let me write the next one. 4 into y1 I have 2.456. Yes. Plus for yn we have 0.232. 0.232. Right. So let us reduce this function in order to bring the answer. Right. So you please do it by yourself. So finally 0.232 plus we should add 0.2, right? Plus in bracket I have to 4 into 2.456, right? 2.456. I think I am correct. 2.456, right? Yes, I am getting 10.256. I have to multiply by 0.4 and I have to divide it by 3. I am getting 1.3674, right? So the answer that I am getting is 1.3674, right? Anyway, let me cross check whether it is correct or not, because I think I'm having answer for this. Yeah, I'm getting 1.3674, right? The given answer is 1.367. Okay, I hope things are clear to you all now. This is how easily we are solving, right? By using what? Simpson 1/3 rule and Simpson, that is trapezoidal roots, right? Integration is very easy, right? Yes, please download that virtual calculator. I don't know how many of you guys are using. You all know this time you all are going to write online test, right, for TRB, TNEB, GATE, whichever the exams, right? I don't know whether the calcs will be provided in the online or not. If it is given, definitely this type and the calcs நான் உங்ககிட்ட சொன்னல அந்த மாதிரி calcs தான் கொடுப்பாங்க. If you don't have practice, automatically it will affect you, right? Yeah. Okay, same model only, right? For our satisfaction, let's take a few more questions. See, I'm just looking for some different model because they had given all equations are same model, right, that we have gone through. No, there are no new things that I am finding. Yeah, best question, right? Write in the question. In order to evaluate the integral, right? In order to evaluate the integral. Next question, let me write down. In order to evaluate the integral, in order to evaluate the integral, right? In order to evaluate the integral, and the function is given as, just we are traveling from 0 to 1 with the e power x into dx. In order to evaluate the integral 0 to 1 e power x into dx with the Simpson 1/3 rule, with the Simpson 1/3 rule, right? With the Simpson 1/3 rule. Class is going good, huh? I just came out. Wait a minute, I'm just getting back because I have to watch the class. Yeah, class is going good, I think. Simpson 1/3 rule. Values of the function e power x, right, are used at, right? Values of the function. Values of the function e power x are used at x equal to 0, 0.5 and, right, x equal to 0, 0.5 and 1, right? Now the absolute value of the error of the numerical integration is, right, the absolute value of the error of the integration is dash. That is the given question, right? Fine. See, how do I bring the answer for this question? என்ன question கொடுத்திருக்காங்க? The given it is in order to evaluate the integral from 0 to 1 e power x into dx with the Simpson 1/3 rule, value of the function e power x, of course they are given some standard values. Actually they are talking about what? That is the data means in order to form the tabular, right? So tabular column form பண்றதுக்காக இந்த datas வந்து கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, right? Let's continue. The absolute value of the error ஓட absolute value கேட்டிருக்காங்க, right? So just to revise your notes, when I had given the introduction for the numerical methods, that is our yesterday class, right, I told you how to find out the absolute error. That is the question, right? Now if you want to know the formula is what? Absolute error, right? So absolute error should be equal to what? That is mod of exact value minus approximate value, right? Do you all agree with me? Yes, we had been estimated this value, right? So exact value minus approximated value, right? So that is what we need to do. We have to bring the answer for this one. That is the question now, right? Shall we proceed? Yes. Now how do I bring the answer for this one? So I'm in need of two people here. One is exact value, another one is approximate value. எங்க exact value நீங்க எங்க calculate பண்ணுவீங்க? Exact value we will calculate in analytical method. Exactly, that is correct. And approximate value we are calculating in numerical methods. That is also correct. Now what I have to do, this integration can be evaluated in two ways. See, this is normal integration. E power x integrate panna e power x varundrathu namak theriyada. We all know, right? So this function can also be integrated with a normal value, that is analytical method. This function can also be, right, evaluated with the help of what? Numerical method, that is Simpson 1/3 rule use பண்ணி சொல்லி அவங்களே கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, right? So what I have to do, in numerical we are going to use this method to find out the answer. In analytical, normal integration, just e power x integrate panna e power x தான் வரும், just substitute the upper limit and the lower limit, find the answer, right? So let's try and bring the answer for this beautiful question, right? Just I was looking for this type of question only, finally I got, right? Fine. Let's bring the answer for this question, right? So our first target, we have to find two people here. We should bring the answer in analytical method, as well as we have to bring the answer in what I can say numerical method, right? First, let's proceed with the analytical method, right? Analytical method, right? So in analytical method, what will be the solution? In analytical method, we are trying to bring the answer, that is exact value. We are trying to get exact value, right? So that is the function, right? So this function answer is just e power 1 to e power x into dx. I just need answer for this one, right? Its exact value should be equal to, this is exact value, right? Exact value equal to integral of e power x become e power x only, and your limits are going from 0 to 1, such that e power upper limit is e power 1 minus lower limit is e power 0. We all know e power 0 is 1, right? So e power 1 minus 1, right? So we are getting e power 1 in the sense, wait a minute, I have to go back to calc. Already we have e power 1, right? So yeah, see, calculate already available irukku parunga, that is minus 1 போட்டிங்கன்னா I'm getting 1.718. Let us consider few more digits in order to get the exact value. So 1.71828, right? So that is exact value, right? We got the exact value. Now let me keep it in a side. We got the exact value, that is equal to 1.71828. Clear? Yes, that is our exact value. Now let's try and bring the answer with the help of Simpson 1/3 rule, right? So let me rub this one. Let's proceed with the numerical method, right? So this is the solution in analytical method. Now in numerical method, what will be the answer? Let's see. For the same function, we can also bring the answer with the numerical integration, right? So let's proceed with the numerical methods. They told you in numerical method, please use Simpson 1/3 rule, right? So we know the formula, but before that I should form the tabular column, right? So they are given, guys, you are supposed to start from x equal to 0 according to the limit, and you are supposed to travel up to 1. Yes, they are traveling from 0 to 1 only, and they are clearly defined. You are supposed to take 3 points, 0, 0.5, 1 only. So I am just considering for x, we are considering 0, 0.5, 1. Correspondent f of x is what? F of x. If I substitute 0, e power 0 is 1. If I substitute 0.5, then it will become e power 0.5. Third value will become e power 1, right? So we know this is our tabular column. Now we should bring the answer with the help of numerical methods. Let's try and bring the answer, right? In numerical methods, we all know the formula, right? Just let me write the answer for directly, that is a formula directly. Step size, that is h upon 3. In bracket, we should consider y0 plus, right? So we are traveling along with the Simpson 1/3 rule. So in Simpson 1/3 rule, what I have to do, we have to consider next values, rest of values in the sense 2, right? In bracket, we have to consider y2 plus y4 plus etc. I should travel up to n minus 2. Similarly, I have to consider 4, and I have to consider y1 plus y3 plus, we have to travel up to yn minus 1. And similarly, we have to consider yn, final value. Let's substitute. The available values are y0 is available, yes. Yn is available, yes. Y1 is available, yes. Shall we substitute? Yes. So if I'll substitute all these variables, step size is how much? Step size is the difference between the 2 points, that is 0.5, right? So step size is 0.5 upon 3 in bracket. Y0 is how much? 1 plus this total term will be 0, right? So we are supposed to 4 into y1 is how much? E power 0.5, e power 0.5 plus yn is e power 1, that is e power 1, right? So e power 1. Just we have to reduce this function in order to obtain the solution for this one, right? So let me do it. 0.5 I should take e power, I got 1 into, I have to multiply it by 4, and I have to consider plus 1 plus we have to consider e. After finding all this point, I have to multiply by 0.5 and I have to divide it by 3. I am getting 1.718861, right? So I am getting my approximate value, right? So this is approximate value. We all know that is approximate value. So the approximate value is equal to 1.7188. 1 2 3 4 5. I am considering 5 digit, right? So 7886. That is our approximate value, right? Now what we need to do, we have to estimate the error, right? Okay guys, they are given, oh my god, see in the option they are considering 6 decimal places, right? But I had been considered only 5. Okay, let's see, at least we are getting close to the approximate value. Let me write the options first, otherwise we don't know whether we got the exact value or not. Guys, let me consider one more digit for that, 718861, right? So next digit also I am considering, because in the option they are considering 6 digits. First let me write the option. Okay, no problem, right? We can easily bring exact value, it's very easy. Let me bring 6, one more digit, that's not a big deal for me. Putting that is 71828. Here also we are getting 1 only, last digit. Okay, fine. They had given 4 options. Option A, they said 0.000171. Option B, they said 0.000440. Option C, they said 0.000579. Option D, they said 0.002718. I think that is correct. Yeah. Shall we proceed? Yes. I have to see, in order to obtain, first I will write the formula first. Enna answer, enna formula? Question is what? Absolute error, right? So absolute error, right? Adana ketirukanga. Question is absolute error, right? So if you want to know the absolute error, right, what you have to do, just take the exact value minus approximate value. Just we have to consider the mod, that is enough, right? Shall we proceed? Yes. Let's try and bring the answer. Approximate value is 1. Okay, just let us subtract 1.718861 minus 1.718718 yes, I am getting see the answer that I am getting is 5.8 into 10 power minus 4 calcula varradhu, right? Idu eppadi eludhalam, it can be written as 0. I have to consider 3 zeros with a 580, right? Okay, just let us compare it with the option. Guys, listen, 80 is approximately equal to 79, correct? So the correct answer is what? Option C. Clear? So that is how we are finding the difference or error between these two functions. Clear? I hope things are clear to you all, right? Okay, so this is all about integration, right? I hope things are clear to you all. This is all about integration, right? So what is our next target? So let me rub this one. Our next target is we have to do the same thing for differentiation. Yeah. If I have differentiated functions, right? I told you normal differentiation means ordinary functions can be directly differentiated with the help of what? Ordinary differential equations. Already differential equation அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம செப்பரேட்டரா ஒரு சாப்டரே பார்த்திருக்கோம், right? See, already we saw a separate chapter for that. Then what is the purpose of discussing about that person here also? Because the thing is, we don't have exact solution when we have complicated equations, right? So in order to find out the, right, if some functions, right, cannot be, right, if your function cannot be solved with the help of what I can say ordinary differential equation, then those functions can be solved with the help of what? what I can say, numerical method, right? So already I had been told you, in numerical method we are going to use, there are two set of rules, that is we are going to follow Euler method only, right? So one is Euler forward method and another one is Euler backward method. So we are going to use two methods in our, and apart from that we have Ranjigutta also, right? So that method is separate from this one. So totally we have three methods if you see in that way, that is Euler forward method, Euler backward method, and another one is Ranjigutta method, right? So let us see all those things one by one. And in Euler forward and Euler backward, see what we are going to do, right? So Euler forward method, that is called explicit method, because should try to remember these things. In your examination you will be tested for some worthless questions. You will be tested for some worthless one more questions, right? So let me write. So totally we are going to use, that is we are going to see three people, right? So first of all, we are looking for the solution of ordinary differential equation, right? Ordinary differential equation. See, ordinary differential equation in the sense we have to take a function and we should consider its correspondent slope. This is a differential equation. Again, take any curve, find out the slope of that function. Dy by dx is going to be the differential version of the function, right? So that can be represented as, this function can be written in terms of f of x comma y. Some sort of functions will be given to you, right? That is called what? Your differential equation. That will be defined like this, right? First thing. Now you should take this function. From this you have to bring, right? So anyway, this is the differential equation that we are going to consider. Now if I have critical equations that can be solved with the help of numerical method, that is what we are going to do now, right? So this equation can be solved if I have some what I can say critical equations, that is differential equation. Yeah, fine. That terms can be defined as, first we can solve this type of equation by using Euler method, that is Euler method or Euler method. Yeah, and in Euler method I said there are two methods, right? Either you can solve this equation by using the first person, that is called Euler forward method, Euler forward method. I said that is called explicit method. Direct approach அவ்வளவுதான், right? Indirect approach கிடையாது, right? Explicitனா அப்படியே கொடுத்திருக்க equation நீங்க பர்தர் அப்படியே சால்வ் பண்ண வேண்டியதான், right? Whereas modified Euler method, right? So Euler forward method, second we are going to discuss about modified Euler method or Euler backward method. பேக்வர்ட்னா என்னன்னா, உள்ள இருக்க ஃபங்க்ஷனை நம்ம திரும்ப ரீசால்வ் பண்ணி அதையும் நம்ம வெளியில ஒரு பக்கமா கொண்டு வரோம், ரைட்? we are doing some mechanisms, right? So backward, that is called Euler backward method or implicit method, Euler or modified Euler method, right? So Euler backward method or implicit method, right? Implicit method, or I said that is called what? Modified Euler method or Euler method, right? So that is called modified Euler method, right? So totally there are three names, okay? Don't forget. And the next thing is, let us see. And apart from this I said the second method, right? So let me name A and B because in order to show the difference. So let's take the second one, that is called Ranjigutta method, right? Sometimes we are calling it as RK method, that is a short name, Ranjigutta, right? So it can be defined like this. So in Ranjigutta there are three models. We can see first one is solution for second order. We have second order equations, we have a separate method, and for third order equation we have a separate method. For fourth order equation we have separate method, right? So totally these are all the three methods that we are going to standardly use in order to find out the solution for ordinary differential equation. I hope things are clear to you all, right? So let me demonstrate, right? Sorry. So let me rub these things. Let me write down the formulas for all people. Guys, I'm repeating once again, right? Usually numerical methods can be analyzed. I can go in the alternative way just by taking each and every method. I can demonstrate graphically and I can bring the solution and I can prove. நம்ம எழுதின எல்லா ஃபார்முலாவுக்குமே டைரக்ட் அப்ரோச் இருக்கு. தட் இஸ் நாட் அப்படி நம்ம மெமரைஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்காக அந்த ஃபார்முலா எழுதல, ரைட்? தெர் பி பேக் ஆஃப் வி ஹாவ் டு டெவலப் தி கிராஃப் அண்ட் வி ஷுட் சி எஸ்டிமேட் தோஸ் திங்ஸ், ரைட்? பட் எனிவே finally you all are supposed to do register those formulas into your brain. That's what my intention, right? Because mathematically you should learn how to approach the question first. Later you can learn how it is come, where its origin, right? That things you can learn it later. That's why I did not give those things. Don't think too much. But if it is required, I will give, right? If it is required, because I know in which area we have to focus that things, right? Now where are we now? We are in differential equation, right? So first I have to consider forward method, right? So Euler forward method. So in Euler forward method, just we need only one formula, right, in order to obtain the iterations, right? So let me write down the formula first, right? So I'm looking for the solution of yn plus 1. That should be written as yn plus 1 equal to yn plus h denotes the step size, right? In bracket f of xn comma yn. That is what we are going to consider in Euler forward method. This is the one and only formula that we are going to use, right? Anyway, in order to proceed further in Euler formula, we need initial value like y naught of x naught has to be defined, right? So in the value வந்து நமக்கு கொடுத்துருவாங்க. This value will be given to you, right? So here என்ன சொல்லிருப்பாங்கன்னா at x equal to x naught, what will be the value of y naught? That will be given. That is called initial points, right? With this f of x comma y is defined. F of x comma y அப்படிங்கிறது that is the function dy by dx, that will be given, right? That will also be given with this. So these two values will be given to you and you are supposed to use the Euler formula. Just in the ரெண்டு பேர் எடுத்துக்கிட்டா at x equal to x naught, right? X naught will be given, y naught will be given. ரெண்டுத்தையும் substitute பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா you will get f of x naught comma y naught. Step size also will be given. ரெண்டுத்தையும் substitute பண்ணீங்கன்னா you are getting the automatically you are getting the solution for the given function y of n plus 1, right? So எத்தனை iteration proceed பண்ண சொல்றாங்க நீங்க அப்படியே further proceed பண்ண வேண்டியதுதான், right? So let's look at this one, right? So just to keep it with you. Now let me give you the second formula, that is called backward formula. See, while solving the problem only you will come to know. That's why first I am writing. First write down the things, then I will demonstrate. While taking examples, automatically you will come to know. Integrations first explain பண்ணும்போது உங்களுக்கு புரியாது, right? Later what happens? Problem solve பண்ணும்போது அவ்வளவுதானே ஆகல, அப்படிதான் இருக்கும் எல்லாமே, right? Mathematics it's very easy. You can trust me at least now because almost we are in the edge of max. So this is yn plus 1, right? So when we are looking for backward method, same formula, but in Euler backward method, what he had done in order to improve the accuracy of the function, right? So when I am comparing Euler forward method, Euler backward method is iteration wise, it is very fast as well as it is providing accurate solution, right? Let's provide. So yn plus 1 should be equal to yn plus h into f of, carefully notice me, in bracket we are going to consider xn plus 1 comma yn plus 1. What do you understand? Just observe this equation and the previous one. Same thing in your examination once again, that is y of x naught will be given as well as dy by dx will be free defined. These two functions will be given to you. You don't need to be panic about this one. This will be given, right? But your target is what? You have to achieve yn plus 1. Sir, I am trying to calculate the value of yn plus 1. பட் நீங்கள் ப்ராக்கெட்டில் yn plus 1 வரணும் அப்படின்னா இங்கே yn plus 1 வேணும்னு சப்ஸ்டிட் பண்ணுறீங்க. சி, நான் கேல்குலேட் பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணுறதே yn plus 1 தான், ஆனால் உள்ளேயே yn plus 1 வந்திருக்கே. வாட் இஸ் திஸ்? தட் இஸ் கால்டு பேக்வர்ட் மெத்தட். அப்போ நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா ஃபங்க்ஷனை எடுத்துக்கிட்டு ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்குள்ளே எழுதுகிற ஃபங்க்ஷன், ரைட்? f of x comma y ஃபர்ஸ்ட் யூ வில் ஹவ் டு ரைட் இன் டர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் yn plus 1 and then you have to collect all yn plus 1 terms one side. That is called implicit method, right? Implicit method na inner the function before proceeding further. Directா வந்து நீங்க இந்த ஈக்குவேஷனை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் in Euler forward method directா இந்த function கொடுத்துருவாங்க. Initial values will be given. Just you have to substitute and you have to calculate the next value. It's over. But in your backward method, you have to do some work. Before starting the operation, first you should gather all yn plus 1 terms one side. And then you are supposed to proceed further, right? While solving the problem, automatically you will come to know. Don't be panic, right? Just register this one. So that is called implicit method or modified method or backward method. Register these things into your mind, right? So let me demonstrate Rangekutta methods, right? See, first register the formulas into your mind. That is what I want, right? I know how to inject these methods into your brain, right? That things I will make it happen while solving the problem. Right now my target is I have to inject this formula into your brain. Should try to do that one, right? So let's take RK methods. We all know that is called Ranji-Kutta methods. So in RK methods, so totally what we have three methods. That is if I have second order equations, so first we have to consider second order equations, right? If given it is second order, then what is the formula? Once again same formula. Our target is what? Anyway, dy by dx will be given to you, right? Dy by dx will be defined, right? And y naught of x naught also will be defined, right? So these two functions will be given in all methods. You don't need to be panic about these things, right? Now with this, if I have second order equations, then the solution is what, right? The solution for the function is, right? So in order to obtain the yn plus 1, once again same formula yn, but here just we are doing slight modifications. The modifications are, here we are going to consider, you are supposed to consider 1 by 2, right? Just we have to consider 1 by 2. In bracket you are supposed to consider k1 plus k2. Who's this k1 and k2? That's very simple. That is k1 is equal to h into f of x naught comma y naught, okay, and k2 is equal to h into f of x naught plus h comma y naught plus k1. Clear guys? While solving the problem automatically you will come to know, don't be panic. I'm repeating once again because some general equations solve பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் இது என்னன்றது உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா புரிஞ்சிடும், இது எப்படி சால்வ் பண்றது அப்படிங்கறது, right? So right now just to make the formulas, right? Note down. Let us write the equation for third order Ranji-Kutta third order equation. Yeah, let me write down third order solution for third order equations, right? Third order equations. Third order, once again differential equation will be given to you, that function will be given, and y naught of x naught will be defined, right? So after knowing these two things you are supposed to proceed further, right? So your next target is we have to achieve the value of, right, yn plus 1. But in this, in third order equation, the method that we are following, once again you are supposed to consider yn plus, right? So here you are supposed to consider 1 by 6, right? In bracket you are supposed to consider 3 people, k1 4 times of k2 plus k3. Totally we should consider 3 people, right? So here k1 should be estimated as h into f of x naught comma h naught, right? Class is going good. I just came out, please 1 second, let me coming back. Yeah, I think it's going good. Next let me write k2, that is h into f of x naught plus h by c, guys sorry, this is y naught comma y naught plus k1 by 2, okay. Next k3 can be written as h into f of, as well as, that is as usual, x naught plus h, y naught plus y naught plus k2. That's all. Clear? Next let us write the solution, right, or the equation for Ranji-Kutta fourth order method, right? Just do remember these equations. It's very easy. Solving the equations will become very easy for you all, right? Especially, see, I am teaching these things for TRB, TNEB only, right? I am telling these things already because for GATE it is not there, it is not available. If you guys see, if you are preparing for GATE, don't forget to take the notes, because this year only the topic had been removed. Next year automatically another IIT will come, they will release one more syllabus. Definitely they might include this chapters, right? We cannot tell them that is, we cannot tell that things will be removed permanently, right? You cannot expect like that, because questions will be taken this side, easiயான questions நிறைய frame பண்ண முடியும், so they will do, right? So for that you are requested to just to take the notes. For this year you are not supposed to revise these things, but in next year GATE you can do if it is available in this syllabus. Fourth order method, once again differential equation will be given to you, functions will be defined, initial value will be given, y naught of x naught will be given, right? Just to take this one, next iteration, right, that is yn plus 1 with Rangekutta, fourth order. Once again, yn plus h into f of, sorry guys, I am writing the direct method here. That is not good. Let me write step by step, right? Let's proceed. That is 1 by x. Let me write k naught plus 2 times of k1 plus 2 times of k2 plus k3. Clear? So let me write k naught equal to, once again, h into f of x naught comma y naught, k1 equal to h into f of x naught plus h by 2 comma y naught plus k1 by 2, right? Next, k2 is equal to h into f of x naught plus h by 2 comma y naught plus k2 by 2, right? You can find the similarity between the formulas in second order, third order, fourth order. If you compare, right, automatically that will be registered into your mind. That you can predict. நீங்க அப்படியே compare பண்ணீங்களே உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் similarity எப்படி இருக்குன்னு. Similarly, step size h into f of, finally we have to consider x naught plus h comma y naught plus k3. Clear? So that is the formula that we are using to obtain the solution in case of Rangekutta fourth order method. Clear? Yeah. Just to make very clear notes, right? Fine. I hope things are very clear to you all, right? Now, just to keep these things with you all, right? See, a given equation can be solved, right? That is what I'm telling. You can solve it with the help of what? By using what I can say trapezoid. I'm not in integration, I'm in differentiation, right? So we are in Euler method and we can use Rangekutta method. So by using these two methods, we can find out the solution. But the problem is, right, while doing, in the iterations proceed panni, solutions find out பண்ணும்போது, right? இதில் என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் வரும் அப்படின்னா, யூ ஷுட் கன்வர்ஜ், சீரியஸ் வந்து என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா கன்வர்ஜ் ஆகணும். ஸோ யூ கேன் கன்சிடர் இன்ஃபினிட் நம்பர் ஆஃப், நீங்கள் எண்ணுக்கு வந்து யூ கேன் கோ ஹெட், நீங்கள் அடுத்தது y2, y3, y4 in order to obtain the correct value, you can travel up to what? Infinite. It does not matter. So in the infinite series, right, infinite number of iteration, with the infinite number of iteration, I have to get the converged value. That's very important. See, alright guys, listen, நீங்க ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் எடுத்துக்கிறீங்க, அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு வந்து நான் உங்ககிட்ட சொல்யூஷன் கேட்டிருக்கேன், ஐ மீன் எக்ஸாக்ட் வேல்யூ கேட்குறேன். இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணியிருப்போம்னா, ஆர்டினரி டிஃபரன்ஷியல் ஈக்குவேஷன்லாம் ஒரு டிஃபரன்ஷியல் ஈக்குவேஷன் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா நம்மளோட டார்கெட் என்ன? அந்த ஈக்குவேஷன் ஒரிஜினல் ஃபங்க்ஷன் யாரு? இப்போ dy by dx அப்படின்னா that is y is equal to x. அதை டிஃபரன்ஷியேட் பண்ணா we are getting dy by dx. ஸோ அந்த y equal to x, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கும் நம்ம டிஃபரன்ஷியல் ஈக்குவேஷனில் பார்த்துருப்போம். ஒரிஜினல் ஈக்குவேஷனை we are trying to bring it out. கரெக்ட்? ஒரிஜினல் ஈக்குவேஷன் நமக்கு வேணும், அது டிஃபரன்ஷியல் ஈக்குவேஷன் ஃபார்மேட்டில் இருக்கும். ஜஸ்ட் we are doing integration and then we are trying to get out, right? அந்த ஒரிஜினல் ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து நம்ம வெளியில் எடுக்க ட்ரை பண்ணுவோம். Same thing we are going to do in numerical method also. Anyway, our target is what? My equation is not known for me. என்ன ஈக்குவேஷன் அங்கே இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது தெரியல, பட் அது that was defined in terms of differential equation. So I'm just taking it out and I'm applying numerical method and I'm trying to find out the originality of the function. In order to obtain the originality, some critical functions cannot be solved in the normal method. I'm just going up with the numerical method. That thing's at all correct. But in numerical method, always you are supposed to do the iterations. Iterations in the sense, you are not getting the solution just within one iteration or two iteration, right? You are trying to repeat the procedure until the arrival of, right? Until the arrival of exact value. So the number of iterations that we are going to consider in order to obtain the exact value is not known for us. You can consider infinite number of iteration, 10 iteration, 20, 30, 100, lakhs and lakhs of iterations also you can take, but ஃபைனலாக நீங்கள் ஐட்ரேஷன் முடிக்கும் போது யூ ஆர் சப்போஸ் டு கெட் தி ஃபைனட் வேல்யூ, கன்வர்ஜ்டு வேல்யூ தான் வரணும் வித் ஏ லிமிட்டட் வேல்யூ ஆஃப் எரர். தட் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஸோ வைல் பிரிங்கிங் தி சொல்யூஷன் வித் தி ஹெல்ப் ஆஃப் திஸ் மெத்தட்ஸ் ஃபார் தி டிஃபரன்ஷியல் ஈக்குவேஷன், தேர் இஸ் எ ப்ராப்ளம் ஆஃப் ஸ்டெபிலிட்டி, ரைட்? நோ, வாட் இஸ் தி ப்ராப்ளம்? Stability in the sense, suppose if your series is not being converged, automatically your system will going to be unstable. How do I predict whether the system is converged or not? That can be predictable with the help of error. Guys, listen, ஒரு ஃபேனை வந்து நம்ம டிசைன் பண்ணுறோம். நமக்கு பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சீலிங் ஃபேன் தானே. சீலிங் ஃபேனை எடுத்துக்கலாம். அந்த சீலிங் ஃபேனை இப்போ நான் ரன் பண்ண விட போகிறேன், ரைட்? ஒரு சீலிங் ஃபேனை ஆன் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் we can let that ceiling fan to run up to ஒரு 1000 RPMல அது மேக்ஸிமம் ஸ்பீடு வந்து வச்சுக்கலாம். அப்போ மேக்ஸிமம் ஸ்பீடுக்கு தேவையான கரண்ட் ரேட்டிங் வந்து 5 ஆம்பியர் நான் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணி வச்சுருக்கேன். இப்போ அதில் வந்து சம் டாலரன்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அந்த டாலரன்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா you can some error வரலாம் 5 ampere வந்து நீங்க பாஸ் பண்ணலாம் with plus or minus 0.5 ampere tolerance கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. அப்படினா மீனிங் என்னன்னா exact rating of the fan is 5 ampere but with some ஏனா பிராக்டிகலா வந்து நம்ம இத கரெக்ட்டா அச்சீவ் பண்ண மெயின்टेन பண்ண முடியாது இல்லையா. so you can range இதோட ரேஞ்ச் வந்து you can lies in between plus or minus 5 னா you can go from 4.5 to 5.5. இந்த ரேஞ்சுக்குள்ள there is no problem in the fan. ceiling fan ல எந்த ப்ராப்ளமும் வராது, right? so that is called limited error. This error is called what? Acceptable or tolerated error. We can call it as tolerated. That is நம்ம tolerance அப்படினு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. in measurements I will often use this word zone, right? so that is called tolerance or acceptable or limited error, right? yeah, so that is called tolerated values or acceptable error, right? suppose நீங்க கொடுத்திருக்க வேல்யூ விட suppose if you suddenly into the fan, right, we are passing 6 ampere due to some malfunctioning. does your fan will accept this change? no, automatically startingல ப்ராப்ளம் வராது because we all know temperature time constant is very high. ஏனா சடனா வந்து ஃபேன் ஹீட் ஆகாது, டெம்பரேச்சர் என்ன ஆகும், slowly it will rise, right? so இப்போ நீங்க 6 ampere வந்து கான்ஸ்டன்ட்டா உள்ள என்டர் ஆயிட்டே இருக்கு அப்படினா ஒரு 10 seconds இல்ல 15 செகண்டுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன ஆகும்னா சீலிங் ஃபேன் வந்து கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா ஹீட் ஆக ஆரம்பிக்கும். ஸோ அப்படியே ஹீட் ஆகிட்டே வரும்போது என்னன்னா ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் டைமுக்கு அப்புறம் அதோட ரேட்டட் டெம்பரேச்சரோட அதிகமான டெம்பரேச்சருக்கு அது போக ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லி யுவர் காயில் வில் பி ஷார்ட் சர்க்யூட் ஆர் மெல்டட் டவுன். இட் வில் ஹேப்பன், ரைட்? ஸோ வென் யூ ஆர் பாசிங் மோர் தென் தி ரேட்டட் கரண்ட் டு தி சீலிங் ஃபேன். ஸோ வாட் வில் பி தி கன்க்ளூஷன் ஹியர்? கமிங் பேக் டு தி டிஃபரன்ஷியல் ஈக்குவேஷன், ரைட்? இப்போ நம்ம ஈக்குவேஷனில் ஒரு சிஸ்டம்க்கு வந்து நீங்கள் ரிசல்டன்ட் வேல்யூ ஃபைண்ட் பண்ணும்போது சின்ஸ் ரைட் வென் ஐ ஹவ் ஸ்டார்டட் தி நியூமரிக்கல் மெத்தட் ஸ்டார்டிங் இட் செல்ஃப் ஐ எம் டெல்லிங் இன் நியூமரிக்கல் மெத்தட் we are not getting the exact value whichever the function, right, that you are trying to find out the solution in numerical methods. You may get the approximate value, you are not going to get the exact value, but the value that we are getting approximately, it has to be getting close to the exact value. You may not get the exact value, but it has to be close to the exact value, right? இப்போ 3 ங்கிறது exact value அப்படினா at least you have to get 2.9. அதுக்கு கீழே நீங்க போக கூடாது, ரைட்? சோ such that நியூமரிக்கல் மெத்தட்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி எனக்கு சொல்யூஷன் வரது அப்ராக்சிமேட்டா இருந்தாலும் அது எக்ஸாக்ட் வேல்யூக்கு பக்கத்துல இருந்தா ஓகே, I will be happy with that. இப்போ எனக்கு எக்ஸாக்ட் வேல்யூ வந்து 5.5 is the exact value. You can go see 5 ampere is the exact value, but I am getting close to, right? இங்க 5 ampere க்கு கிட்ட நான் வந்திருக்கேன், 5.5 ல நான் இருக்கேன். Okay, that is close to exact value only, I am accepting. Or I am standing at 4.5. Anyway, that is also close to 5 ampere only, I am accepting this range. If I am going 7 ampere, 6 ampere, 6.5, 8 ampere, do I accept that changes? That is called instability. Automatically your ceiling fan will be short circuit, your coil will be melted down. What will happen? Short circuit will happen, entire load, your home will be shut down, MCB will trip the circuit due to overload. That is not called overload, due to short circuit it happens. Fine. So what is the conclusion here? The conclusion is, right, maintaining the error is very important while solving the problems in numerical methods, especially in the differential equation. So stability problem will arises. In order to control the stability, right, so we are trying to estimate, that is we are trying to control the error offered by the system, right? அப்ப நீ என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படினா இந்த சிஸ்டம்ல வர எரர் வந்து you have to restrict, right? So the error, right, stability analysis in the sense, what is the conclusion? In the differential equation we are looking at a next term that is called stability analysis. That is very small topic, but that very small topic will going to play a crucial part into the differential equation such that you will be able to do the stability analysis, right? And you will come to know what is the range of the error for each and every methods that we are using here standardly. அப்போ ஸ்டெபிலிட்டி அனாலிசிஸ் பர்பஸ் என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா நம்ம இங்கே யூலர் மெத்தட் பார்த்துருக்கோம். யூலரில் ஃபார்வர்ட் பார்த்தோம், பேக்வர்ட் பார்த்தோம், ரங்கே குட்டாவில் செகண்ட் ஆர்டர், தேர்ட் ஆர்டர், ஃபோர்த் ஆர்டர் நிறைய பேர் பார்த்துருக்கோம் இல்லையா? ஸோ அப்போ இவங்க எல்லாருமே வந்து ரிசல்டன்ட்டில் கொடுக்குற வேல்யூ வந்து எக்ஸாக்ட் வேல்யூக்கு கொஞ்சம் பக்கத்தில் இருக்கணும், வெளியில் போகக்கூடாது. அப்படி வெளில போச்சுன்னா அது வந்து அன்ஸ்டேபிள். சரி, நான் ஒரு சீலிங் ஃபேன் எக்ஸாம்பிளுக்கு எடுத்தேன். சீலிங் ஃபேன் கூட இங்கே இருக்கலாம். நீங்கள் மேத்தமெட்டிக்ஸில் நம்ம அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் எதுவும் பார்க்கறதில்ல, பட் இட் டஸ் நாட் மீன் தட் மேக்ஸ் இஸ் தி யூனிவர்ஸ். எந்த இடத்துல எல்லாமே மேக்ஸ் தான். இப்போ நீங்க எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் சர்க்யூட்ஸ்ல ஃபுல்லாவே ஸ்டோரேஜ் எலிமெண்ட்ஸ் பத்தி நம்ம பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். அது யாரு? டிஃபரன்ஷியல் ஈக்குவேஷன். dy/dx தான் இண்டக்டர், dy/dx தான் கெபாசிட்டர். தட் இஸ் தி யூனிவர்ஸ். எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் இன்ஜினியரிங்கோட வேர்ல்டே அதுதான். அந்த ரெண்டு பேர் தான். அவங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் எங்க தான் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு கீப் them right in a restricted zone, you should analyze here properly. Stability analysis, doing stability analysis is much important here, right? Fine. Coming back to story is over now. So I'm just restricting the error offered by the system. Let's consider the stability analysis. Yeah. So in stability analysis, you are requested to, guys, actually what do you mean by stability analysis? Guys, you can do n number of iteration, right? So there is no problem from my side. நீங்க infinite iteration கூட பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இந்த என்னோட வேல்யூ வந்து இன்ஃபினிட்டிவாக வந்தால் கூட எனக்கு ப்ராப்ளம் கிடையாது. ஆனால் இந்த இன்ஃபினிட் டைம்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஐட்ரேஷனில் உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கக்கூடிய சொல்யூஷன் வந்து கன்வர்ஜ் ஆகணும். You have to obtain converged solution. That's very important. If you are not getting the converged solution, then what is the purpose of doing this infinite number of iteration? No. So while doing infinite number of iterations, your solution has to be converged, and in resultant error offered by the system, that is the tolerance, should be restricted to less than 1 mod e. இப்போ தான் நான் டிஃபைன் பண்ணலையே. இப்போ நம்ம சீலிங் ஃபேனுக்கு என்ன பார்த்தோம்? 5 ± 0.5 அப்படின்னு நான் ரேட்டிங் டிஃபைன் பண்ணேன். யூ கேன் கன்சிடர் போத் சைட்ஸ். பாசிட்டிவ் வேல்யூஸ், நெகட்டிவ் வேல்யூஸ் ஷுட் பி ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்டட். இங்கே நான் இப்போ மாட் ஈன்னு போட்டிருக்கேன் இல்லையா? மாடை ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிங்கன்னா திஸ் கேன் பி ரிட்டன் as ±1, or I can say go up to +1, go up to -1. That is the acceptable error. That is the acceptable error in case of stability analysis in our differential equation. Don't forget, right? So once we consider this one, so what is our target now? We have to estimate the function. அப்ப நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க அப்படினா step number 1, if you are requested to find out the right stability analysis உங்களை பண்ண சொல்றாங்க அப்படினா take your function f of x, y, that is dy by dx, that will be given in your examination. இந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன் அவங்க கொடுத்திருக்காங்க இல்லையா? just replace it by lambda times of yi plus 1, that is lambda times of yi, since I am using yn na, so you can just follow yn, that is enough for me. Right, so you are supposed to do this one. F of x, y replace பண்ணிட்டு just substitute yn, first target. Right, directa அதை replace, I mean substitute பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் next step, right? So you are supposed to consider one more thing. yn plus 1 will be given to you, right? So yn plus 1 அப்படினா next iteration that you are going to perform, right? So now directly go to yn plus 1. You are supposed to consider the error offered by your system, right? So that is error in the sense the range of error that I am going to consider, right? With we should restrict, right? So we have to consider lambda into yn. Guys, while solving the problems, I will let you know, just to keep these two things in your mind. That's all, that is enough. Okay, just we have to keep these two things into our mind. Now while solving the problem, automatically I will explain how to bring the answer for these functions. Okay, just do remember these two things. That is step number 1. In step number 2, I will take some examples and I will demonstrate how to do these things. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, procedures I will explain later. First understand stability analysis na meaning என்ன? எவ்வளோ ஐட்ரேஷன்னா பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஆனால் எனக்கு ரிசல்டன்ட்ல வர வேல்யூ வந்து எப்படி இருக்கணும்? எரர் வந்து கம்மியாக இருக்கணும். ரொம்ப அதிகமான எரர்லாம் அக்செப்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. அப்படி எரர் வந்து ரொம்ப அதிகமாக இருந்தால் சிஸ்டம் அன்ஸ்டேபிள்னு அர்த்தம். தட் இஸ் நாட் ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்டட், தட் இஸ் நாட் அலோவபிள், ரைட்? ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் யூ ஹவ் டு இக்னோர் தட் ஒன். சச் அந்த கன்வர்ஜென்ஸ், தட் இஸ் நாட் கன்வர்ஜென்ஸ், தட் இஸ் கால்ட் டைவர்ஜென்ஸ். ஓகே, அப்போ அது ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் பண்ணுறதுக்காக நம்ம எப்படி மெயின்டைன் பண்ணணும்? நம்ம இப்போ எந்த ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ் வந்து நீங்கள் எடுத்துக்கிட்டாலும், ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் லெட் மீ ரப் திஸ் ஒன். See, let me select Euler method. Euler method நம்ம என்னங்க பார்த்தோம்? Eulerக்கு நம்ம ஃபங்க்ஷன் டிஃபைன் பண்ணியிருக்கோம், ரைட்? yn plus 1 can be considered as, right? So it can be considered as yn plus h into f of xn comma yn. Exactly, that is true, right? That is what we are considering, right? Now what I need to do, the thing is, I only told you this yn plus 1, right? So can be written as, let me write yn plus h into, in error analysis, f of xn comma yn, f of x comma y can be replaced by lambda times of yn, such that f of xn comma f of x comma y க்கு பதிலா lambda into y ன்னு போறீங்க அப்படினா, actually see there, it means xn comma yn க்கு பதிலா நான் இதை சப்ஸ்டிட் பண்ண சொல்றேன்னு அர்த்தம். Don't think too much, right? So f of xn comma yn can be replaced by lambda times of yn, first thing, right? Next thing, from here just you can take yn outside, and you are going to get what? 1 plus lambda times of h, right? Lambda times of, yeah, this is yn plus 1. From Euler method I am getting this one, correct? Now whereas in the stability equation we have one more equation. This is our second equation in the stability, this is our first equation. In stability, this is yn plus 1 that I am obtaining from the iteration, right? Now in my testing equation I have one more person, that is yn plus 1 should be equal to what? Error e into yn, correct? Can you do the comparison? Just to take the RHS of these two functions, compare these two. இவங்க ரெண்டு பேரை compare பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா what will be the error? Error e is equal to what? 1 plus lambda times of h. Do you all agree with me? whereas see lambda is the error coefficient. Don't think too much. Where is lambda? This is right. So this is error coefficient in stability, right? Fine, just keep it with you, that is enough, right? So what is the conclusion here? See, what is the procedure that we need to follow? அப்போ ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் உங்ககிட்ட கொடுத்துருக்காங்கன்னா அது எந்த மாதிரி ஃபங்க்ஷனில் இருந்துட்டு போட்டோம், ஒரே ஒரு ஸ்டெப் தான். அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனில் அவங்க ஜென்ரல் ஃபங்க்ஷன் கொடுப்பாங்க. ஐ எம் ஜஸ்ட் டேக்கிங் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ரைட்? அவங்க ஒரு ஜென்ரல் ஃபங்க்ஷன் உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. அந்த ஜென்ரல் ஃபங்க்ஷன் எப்படின்னா இருந்துட்டு போகுது, அது உங்களுக்கு தேவையே இல்லை. உங்களோட டார்கெட் என்னன்னா அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனில் f of x, y எங்க இருக்கு அதை ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு ஜஸ்ட் சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் திஸ் ஒன் lambda into yn சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணுங்க. சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணிட்டு இந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனை ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you will get y of n into something கிடைக்கும். See guys, listen, இது கூட some other கான்ஸ்டன்ட்லாம் வரும் sometimes. நீங்க வேற யாரை பத்தி வரி பண்ண தேவையில்ல. உங்களோட டார்கெட் yn ஓட கோஎஃபிஷியன்ட் இங்க யார் இருக்கா, yn ஓட கோஎஃபிஷியன்ட் இங்க யார் இருக்கா, அது அப்படியே வெளில எடுத்து that is your error. Coefficient of yn is going to be the error in our stability testing equation. இங்க yn ஓட கோஎஃபிஷியன்ட் தான் error. அப்ப இங்கேயும் yn ஓட கோஎஃபிஷியன்ட் தான் error. Only one step, a function will be given to you. Go to that function, f of xn, yn வந்து ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு just substitute lambda into yn. Then இப்போ அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன்ல எந்த இடத்துல in terms of yn க்கு கோஎஃபிஷியன்ட் யார் யாரெல்லாம் இருக்காங்களோ அதை மட்டும் வெளியில எடுத்து just equal it to error. அவ்வளவுதான், முடிஞ்சு. Next step you will get the answer. Let me write this one. Immediately இது நீங்க சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணோனே உங்களுக்கு ஆன்சர் வந்துரும். இப்போ எனக்கு என்ன வந்திருக்கு பாருங்க, error equation I got as 1 plus lambda h, கரெக்ட்டா? Yes, but what we know, since error is lies in between -1 to +n, அப்ப இங்க எரருக்கு பதிலா நீங்க என்ன சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணலாம், இந்த எரர் e க்கு பதிலா we can substitute 1 plus lambda h, கரெக்ட்டா? Yes, so this is lies in between +1 and -1. This is our error coefficient or range of the error. It's over. இப்போ இந்த 1 வெளியில பாஸ் பண்ணீங்க அப்படினா, since it is +1 வெளியில பாஸ் பண்ணீங்க அப்படினா -1, it will go both sides. அப்ப என்ன வரும், lambda h, it's lies in between. +1 இருக்கு, there is 1 plus lambda h. அப்ப இது வெளியில பாஸ் பண்ணீங்க lambda h equal to -1. -1 நீங்க ரெண்டு பக்கமும் பாஸ் பண்றீங்க. இங்க வரும்போது என்ன ஆகும், +1 with -1 will become 0. -1 will become -2. So the range of error coefficient in case of what we saw, that is Euler method, right? So Euler forward method, நம்ம எடுத்துக்கிட்ட மெத்தட் வந்து Euler forward தானே? Yes. So in Euler forward method, the range of the error is lambda h should be lies in between -2 to 0. Clear? That is the only question it was being asked. இது வரைக்கும் இந்த ஏரியாவில் வந்திருக்க ஒரே ஒரு கொஸ்டின் இது மட்டும் தான், ரைட்? அதையும் நான் கொடுத்துட்டேன். லிசன், கொஸ்டின்ல இருந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்டா வந்திருக்கிறது. சம்டைம்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, ஐ செட் ஜெனரல் ஈக்குவேஷன் will be given. ஜெனரலா அவங்க ஒரு ஈக்குவேஷன் உங்ககிட்ட கொடுத்துட்டு அந்த ஈக்குவேஷனுக்கு உங்களோட சொல்யூஷன் எடுத்துட்டு வர சொல்லுவாங்க. You can just do it by yourself, right? அதை நீங்க என்ன பண்ணிக்கலாம்னா ஒரே ஒரு ஸ்டெப் தான். You just remember the stability analysis. Stability analysisல you should keep these three things in your mind. One is yn plus 1 stability equation, right? And I had given, நான் இன்னொரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் சொல்லியிருந்தேன், f of xn, yn க்கு பதிலா lambda into yn ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணணும். அதுக்கப்புறம் எரரோட ரேஞ்ச் உங்க மைண்ட்ல இருக்கணும். இதை ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் yn ஓட கோஎஃபிஷியன்ட் தான் எரர், அதை அப்படியே எடுத்து வந்து இங்க இந்த ரேஞ்சில சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you will get the answer. It is over, right? So this is the restricted range of error when we are doing iteration with the help of Euler method. If some general function will be given to you, then you can just go with the general function, find out the f of xn, yn க்கு பதிலா lambda yn ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு find out the coefficient of yn, just அந்த கோஎஃபிஷியன்ட் எடுத்து அதுக்கு e க்கு பதிலா அதை சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you will get the range. It's over. Clear? That is all about stability analysis. I hope things are very clear to you all, right? So with this, let's wind up the today class, right? So tomorrow I have to solve the many problems based on these equations. Anyway, we are in the that's all over. Your numerical method is going to be over, and I'm just giving some things about as I said, we have to see the solution for linear equations, right? Just that methods வந்து என்ன பண்ண போறோம் அப்படிங்கறத simply I will demonstrate. That's all. Numerical methods is completely over with this, right? If you have any other doubts, you can ask me in the group, right? So thank you all. Let's wind up.